Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Tuesday, June 2nd, do that. And 26, hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. It is great to be here on a lovely, lovely Tuesday in New York City. June in New York City is heavenly. June in New York City, when the New York Knicks are a little over 24 hours away from playing in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, is nirvana. It is unbelievable being in this city. I did not live here in 1999. I certainly did not live here in 1994. And so this is everything young Ariel has always dreamed of, driving into the city today. Wow. Could you imagine what it could be like? What it could be like in about 2 weeks' time. And I saw that stupid dog on Twitter. Is that dog, like, is that a Yahoo thing, that dog? Because I see the Yahoo account posting him. Air Corgi. You guys see this dog? Corgi. I can't believe I was actually nervous. Like, they dropped the trailer yesterday, like, Air Corgi's gonna make her pick. And I was actually nervous and reminded myself to check out what the pick was at 10 a.m. this morning. Did you guys hear about this?
Okay, but here's the thing.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Rick is filling in for Mr. Jordan today.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
It's been right on the Spurs,
Yes.
but wrong on the Knicks.
Oh.
So now we've got the impasse because obviously we know how the result went, but it's been wrong on the Knicks and right on the Spurs.
Okay. So what? The doggy was going, what, they were picking like the Cavs or the Hawks?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that dog. That's what I say. But I will say for a moment, I was like, I wanted the confirmation, right? I wanted the confirmation. I think they picked the Mavericks to beat the Celtics a couple of years ago. I saw that. So I was like, you know what? Screw that dog. Charles Barkley did pick us, and I'm very excited about that. Most of the ESPNers did not. Anyway, all to say, I cannot wait. We're a little over 24 hours away. And I feel like I said this yesterday, right? I said it yesterday. I'm going to be off. Like, my mind is going to trail into different places, especially, I mean, if it goes well, if it goes to, like, who knows? And so yesterday I was wondering if I was off when talking to Ben Askren about our tweet exchange from way back in the day. Like, what are we talking, 13, 14 years, where I banned him from the show, and then he challenged me to a fight, and then he said, no, I really didn't challenge you to a fight. Look it up, find it. Well, we have found the tweets. And so here is... Okay, here are the tweets. Is this the first one that we have? This is the first one?
Yeah, this is the first one. This is you inviting him.
Yeah, but it's because he said something.
No. You invite him, then it gets into it.
Okay, so I invite him to come to the show. And by the way, look at that date. April 10th, 2012. My oldest son wasn't even born yet. 20 days later would be born. He's 14. Golly, we've been doing this a long time. All right, here we go. Here's the reply. Oh, didn't even reply. April 11th. Ben Askren never responded to my invitation. You never invited me and you never answered my question, he writes. Okay. Then Johnny Fatsacks says, yes, he did. And there it is. It continues. Yes, I did. Yesterday. My friend here just resent it to you. Now, truth be told, I don't know Johnny Fatsacks personally, but I consider all my Twitter followers to be friends. Well, I invite you to go in the cage with me. When you do that, I will do your show. Otherwise, kiss my ass. There it is, April 11th. Now, I sent this to Ben, and he's like, look, this is exactly what I said. I've been proven right. I'm like, I don't know if that's exactly what you said. Nevertheless, to think that we were once in that spot and then went to the point 7 years later to where he's on the show the Monday after the Masvidal knockout, then to the point where we're talking yesterday about the big comeback that everyone's freaking out about, as they should, because it's one of the most amazing things if he actually pulls this off. It's a reminder that we can all come together. We can all bury the hatchet. We should never hold on to grudges. Look, you may not agree with a lot of things that Ben says or does, but he does live by one code that he's actually been living by long before the sickness and the health issues that he had to overcome hit him about exactly a year ago. And that is, don't hold on to grudges. Even when Masvidal knocked him out, like, he didn't hold on to that grudge. And I think that that's one of the best pieces of advice that you can offer someone. Grudges are like a cancer. They fester inside. It feels so much better to be like, you know what? I was wrong, you were wrong, I was right, you were right. Let's bury the hatchet, shake. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to be friends at all. But to just not have that growing inside of you. And so it's very important to note that I was right about the interaction, but also to note that he was right about not holding on to the grudge. And now here we are, and he's about to compete. I was going to say fight, but he's about to compete in a little over a month, July 18th. And what a time. I keep focusing about the Knicks, but what a time. We got the White House card coming up in 12 days. The return of the Mac. You've got the return of AJ, July 25th. And I'm so excited. And I saw the media that he did yesterday, and it's just so great to see him in such great spirits. You've got the return of Ben Askren. So many returns. So many things to be excited about. And almost every single week there's a big event. And so we have a lot to be thankful for. Today's program is going to be a great one. Back into the show, Oshaki Foster, who we spoke to you about yesterday. He had the big win over Raymond Ford. He threw him out of the ring. He had the back and forth with Shakur Stevenson. This young man, WBC featherweight champion, incredible backstory. His life story is straight out of a movie. He'll be joining us. We'll talk to him at about 3:40. At about 3:15, we're going to be joined by Omari Jones, 2024 Olympian, young man that a lot of people are very excited about, undefeated, the pride of Orlando. He had a win on that card as well, and so we'll talk to him about that. Have been wanting to talk to him for quite some time. He's got the coolest fight gear in the game. He reps Orlando. Often wears Orlando Magic gear, this time not, but very cool sense of style, and I think a young man that we'll be hearing about for quite some time. Prior to that, we are going to be joined in studio by the great Scott Coker, of course, the founder of Strikeforce, and then at one time the president and CEO of Bellator. And now it has been recently announced that he is getting back into the fight game, getting back into MMA. He's bringing some familiar faces with him. It was announced earlier today that his old friend Rich Chow is joining the team. Kevin Kay is his chief content officer, former president of Spike TV. There's a lot to be excited about. Our old friend CJ Tuttle, the best PR guy in the business. They've signed him away from the PFL, which I think is their most, in my opinion, their best signing, their most significant signing. CJ is amazing. Chris de Blasio is a part of the team. If you're in the business of MMA and certainly in the MMA media business, you know who these names are. And so Scott is going to be joining us in studio at 2 o'clock to talk about all his plans. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm looking forward to it very much. And I have some, dare I say, hard questions for him. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about it. And then at 1:15, in about 8 minutes time, my friends, the hardcore legend himself. Oh my God, the incomparable Mick Foley. Obviously, he can't come out to that music anymore because he's now a part of AEW. He debuted a couple weekends ago, Double or Nothing, Flushing, Louis Armstrong Stadium. One of my favorite entertainers, wrestlers, athletes of all time. His first book, Have a Nice Day, unbelievable. His appearances in the Beyond the Mat documentary, unbelievable, inspirational. His career, storybook, Mick Foley on the program for, I think, just the second time. There was once a time when I was at Syracuse University, there was once a time where I thought, like, if I could get an interview with Mick Foley, this is 01 to 04, if I could get an interview with Mick Foley, I would have made it, in my mind. That was the mountaintop for me. I loved his backstory, Colgate University, the backyard wrestling, the trials and tribulations, how inspirational he was, how he didn't take no for an answer, all the ups and downs. I love the guy. And now he's a part of AEW, and I'm very excited to have him on the program. So there's your lineup for today's show. A little something for everyone, as they say. We don't just cover one thing over here. We cover it all. By the way, how about intern Josh yesterday? Biggest babyface in the game. Really wowing everyone with his wrestling knowledge, and we are so happy to have him part of the team, and everyone weighing in on our take on the AAA Mascara versus Mascara match, and a lot of people weighing in and letting us know that it all came down to the fact that Ludwig Kaiser embraced Mexican culture, learned how to speak. I want to ask Andy about this. They said he learned how to speak Spanish like a Mexican. He uses certain terms and a certain, like an accent that he really embraced their culture. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, of course. Like, we all have our own slang. We all have our own idioms. You know, it makes sense.
So they say, like, the way he embraced the culture, the way he learned about the culture, the way he learned how to speak like a Mexican, not just like generic Spanish that you would learn in class or Duolingo or something like that, really made him, like one of their own. And that's one of the main reasons why they admired him so much and fell in love with him so much. And I don't know if a lot of people honestly knew that about him, that he knew how to speak like that.
I was actually going to ask you yesterday because I noticed in the video that we played of him walking out, he's singing that Canta y no llores song, which is huge. Like that's what got me. I was like, damn, he went for this song incredible. Like, this is so nice. He was singing. You could tell that he was singing. So I was wondering, and then Josh replied.
Yeah, so good, so good. I saw a video that he did where he's like talking about his favorite things, and it's all Mexican related. Favorite food, he says like tostadas. Favorite football team, he says Club America. Like, he just like says all the things, all the right things. So it's a wonderful thing. Very curious, and Chad Gable deserves all the flowers in the world as well. We are getting very close to Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I saw this video yesterday of Justin Gaethje's dad essentially saying that his son is going to win. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Every dad should be backing his son. Here's what Mr. Gaethje had to say about the fight coming up on the White House lawn on the 14th of June.
He didn't come up here to a place to where it's just a bunch of people. He came up here to a family. And that's what Onyx is. That whole group that's there, it's just one big old family. And it just keeps growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and funner and funner. This is the biggest fight of his life. But I mean, we've said that 3 or 4 other times. So he's fighting another little short guy, and he's done really well against Chandler and Paziv and a few of the others. And I just see the same thing happening for this fight. I mean, this is what we trained for. This is what he put his whole life into since he was 4 years old, and I'm excited and ready for it to happen.
Yep. Another little short guy might have struck a chord. I don't know. But anyway, Mr. Ilia Topuria did, in fact, see that clip and responded to the clip on Twitter. Fathers hope, champions know. I've heard this story before. Bigger men, stronger men, better men. Men who said I was just a small guy who was about to get a lesson in humility. They all learned the truth the same way. Your son already knows who I am. On June 14th, you will too. 18-0, Papa, with the red rose, not a white rose. I don't think they have the white rose as far as the emojis are concerned. But there's something very cerebral about his tweets. He's pretty damn good at the tweets. He is preparing, as he usually does, with the best of technology. He's surrounding himself with the best. He always goes the extra mile, it seems, Ilia Topuria. He is cerebral when it comes to his training as well. And I saw this clip of how he's preparing for Justin Gaethje. Take a look at this. Fascinating stuff from Ilia. This is a neurostimulation with infrared light for several things: to improve focus, for mental recovery, to improve sleep. These secrets, they don't do this. The focus this gives before training is like not even 100 coffees. The effects of this kind of super focus, it really does look very strange, but it is so good. You have to pay a price for good things sometimes. Oh, it's a cute dog. Well, here he is. Here's the focus. What's he doing? Oh, hand-eye coordination. Now what we're doing is we are putting a very small needle that we can, on an ultrasound machine, and we can see the little needle entering the tissue. Golly, look at this. We used to be very precise. After this, I can tell in my performance, in the training, physiological level, I notice it very much. It says they take a weight off my shoulders. I notice it. It has to be so precise. Everything is being planned for the best day of performance on the 14th of June. There you have it. How about that? That's high-level stuff. That is high-level stuff. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is actually real? This breaking news here? Matchroom Queensberry? 7v7. Is this a real thing? Josh just put this in the chat. Anyone know? Is this real? Let me see. Did everyone leave? Where's everyone?
Josh is saying that this is real.
Let me see if this is real. Is this really real?
I don't know.
Josh? Are you only lasting one day here? What's going on? I don't see this anywhere.
77 Matchroom, pro boxing fans. They got a gold check mark. Eddie Hearn has revealed a matchroom versus Queens very soon and in the works. 4 fights he may believe may feature.
I was like, what? Most of the time I saw this. Josh, please explain yourself.
He's panicking.
Listen, Josh, we're a what have you done for me lately kind of outfit here, all right? So yesterday's glowing review is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, heel turn Josh here for sure.
You can't rest on your laurels here.
Babyface gone.
All right? That's one of the quickest turns in the history of the biz right there. Josh tried to feed me incorrect intel. Yeah, I see the little watermark there. What is
It's tough.
Also, we have like side by side from the 5v5 of Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. This graphic is just completely AI.
Oh, Josh hit us with the AI. Golly, this is devastating. This is devastating. Does he want to defend himself, or is he just laying low?
He left the room.
Wow, Josh.
He actually has left the entire building.
Can someone get Syracuse University on the phone? We do have to tell them about what Josh has done here.
We already have him. You're on standby whenever you're done with this interview.
This isn't Newhouse-esque, all right? We have a certain standard.
Carmelo Anthony has taken to Twitter and shown his disappointment in Josh.
Josh, how could you? Intern Josh, how could you? Golly. Well, we'll see if he has anything to say as the show goes on, as the day materializes. But that was false. At least I didn't read the matchups, because I got to say, they were juicy. They were tremendous matchups, I do have to say. Anyway, we'll talk to all those people back in. Scott Coker joining us in studio at 2 o'clock. Can't wait for this. But this is, as I just said seconds ago, this is a massive one for me. I've only had the opportunity to speak to this man once before. And as I said, when I was at Syracuse University in 2001, if you would have asked me who my dream interview would have been, it would have been this man, because I looked up to him so much. I felt like there was a little part of me in him as well. And I think that's probably what endeared him to so many people. He was the everyman. Always tells it like it is. Greatest wrestling author of all time, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, the hardcore legend himself, and just about a week and a half or so ago, returned to the wrestling scene, this time in AEW. He shows up, Double or Nothing, Louis Armstrong Stadium, massive deal. He's there with Renee Paquette, old friend, there with MJF, Darby Allin, and it seems like he's now a part of the family. And so let us talk to the great Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mick Foley about all of this and more. There he is.
Hey, thank you, Ariel. You had told me I was your dream interview a long time ago. And did I ask you if you had Professor Bob Thompson as a teacher?
You did, and I did.
Yeah. What a great guy he was. I haven't seen him in years, but, there's people who play a role in your life, and you don't quite understand that until time goes by, but he was one of those guys.
Amen. Yeah, one of the all-time greats, certainly when talking about media and its effects on society and pop culture. He always shows up in all those documentaries. Everyone goes to Professor Thompson. I love that. And I love that you're here. Thank you so much for doing this, Mick. I really do appreciate it. You showed up just a couple of weekends ago, as I said, Memorial Day weekend at AEW. And obviously, that's the main reason why we want to have you on. But I'd love to kind of go back a few steps. And back in December, you did announce that you were not going to re-sign with WWE as far as your Legends deal is concerned, and you wanted to kind of sever ties and take a break, given their association, and correct me if I'm getting this wrong, with the current president. And so can I ask you about that decision? What led you to making that decision and announcing it to the world? Because it was massive news when you did.
Well, everyone has to make the decision that feels right to them. And I sometimes describe someone's big break as being more like a series of little breaks, like a ball peen hammer on a windshield. You don't know which tap actually causes the crack, but without a multitude of them, that windshield's not cracking at all. So for me, it was the comments about Rob Reiner, just heartless, unbelievably cruel comments coming from the most powerful man in the world, finding joy in how somebody died. I don't want to paraphrase, but belittling the man who just died, somehow tying it into his own death, into Reiner's dislike of Donald Trump. And for me, that was the ball peen hammer tap that broke the windshield. And I just think WWE had a very cozy relationship where there was definitely the illusion of a relationship there, of the perception, rather. I think when 5 different people are posing in the Oval Office and they've all received Stone Cold Stunners, that's a little cozy. And Ariel, I felt like even though I wasn't technically employed by the company, but because I had a Legends deal, because my name's been associated with WWE for over 30 years, that I was complicit in my silence. And so I did speak up. I reached out to the head of talent relations, who I consider a friend, who I still write handwritten letters from Santa to every year, send the videos out. I don't brag about much, Ariel, but they are the best Santa videos in the business. And I can prove that if you ever want to have me on with showcase a couple of these videos. I take a lot of pride in them. And so basically, I give up the Legends deal. It runs out at the end of this month. I realized that by giving up 2 really easy, very high-paying jobs at WrestleMania week for WWE, that I had to work 24 hours on my own to make what I could have been 6, and I'm okay with that. So I'm good with my decision. Everyone, I think, has to make a decision that's right for them. And in my case, I just didn't want to be in a position where my grandchildren are asking what their grandfather was doing when things were really, tough. And I want my children to be able to say, this is what Grandpa did. So I made the move that I felt was right for me. I love that company. I'm not going to disparage them. But it didn't seem like a good fit. Didn't seem like a fit that would allow me to look at myself in the mirror before I went to bed.
When you make that call and tell them that you'd like to do this and you feel this way, do they try to convince you to change your mind? Do they have a conversation, or is it just like, okay, thanks for the call and we'll talk down the line?
Well, the first one was I respect your stance, and I'll tell the people that I'll tell the people in charge. And then I did receive a call from someone really high up. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but he was saying, well, Paul is just on the physical fitness, like the physical fitness, not the bureau, but they're whatever the name, the physical fitness group they have is. And he said, and Linda hasn't worked in WWE in, X amount of years. And I said, well, theoretically that's the case, but I could have sworn I saw Paul behind the president's shoulder when he was making foreign policy, which I think is true. And it's like, whether Linda's been working for the company or not, her last name is McMahon and she's associated with the company. And then I said, come on, 5 people in that Oval Office took the stunner. And so he appreciated it. He did say he respected it. I didn't close the door forever. I said in my announcement, as long as this man's in office. I think more and more people are realizing that some of the things he's doing are just cruelty for the sake of cruelty and enriching himself. And his polls, I'm not here to talk politics. Let's skip this after here, but it is the reason I left WWE. I just want to tell people who are listening that it's never too late to do the right thing. The best time to have made your voice heard would have been earlier, but the second best time is now. And if this guy, President of the United States, ratings dip into the teens, then maybe he'll be forced to make some changes. Nobody wants to go down as the worst president in the history of this country. So maybe I'm naive, but maybe you can appeal. If there are better angels of his nature, maybe they can still be appealed to. But I'm not so sure there are. He's definitely a different type of person, and I don't mean that in a good way. Just curious,
did you hear from Paul Levesque?
No, I did not hear from Paul or any of the McMahon family. That's the one. That's the saddest part is that I really did have great history with Paul and was a good friend of Paul's, and Stephanie was at their wedding. Vince McMahon meant so much to me. So I knew going in that was probably going to affect those friendships. But in an earlier post I did that got a lot of attention, I pointed out that, throughout my 15 full-time years in wrestling, I drove with a multitude of driving partners. And these are people you would see more often than you saw your own family. You drove with them, you split a room with them, you did your meals with them, you went to the gym when I went to the gym. And I was looking, I was like, wow, with the exception of one guy, Jim Cornette, I wouldn't have called any of these people progressive. Like they were either independent or cued a little bit conservative. And I didn't have a problem with anybody. So I think we just need to get back to a point where we can understand that we need two strong parties, but we don't need someone, just dominating to the point where, our elected leaders are just making votes they know are wrong because they don't want to fall out of favor with this president. So, Ariel, let's not give this guy any more time.
No, I'm trying to get to how we get to the AEW deal.
Sure.
And so I just wanted to establish that. How soon after you make that announcement does someone from AEW reach out to you and gauge your interest in working for them?
Well, it had been a little while past. Now, I have known Tony Khan for 15 years, so I had a really good lunch with Tony before he got into wrestling in Jacksonville. And I always considered him, if not a friend, then a friendly acquaintance. Like even during AEW shows, I would direct message him. For example, I would say, "Hey, Tony, is it possible to get the rights to Thunderstruck by AC/DC for Thunder Rosa?" Or I might say, "Wow, that's a great show." And I really was not testing the waters. I was just reaching out to somebody who I liked to let them know that I was enjoying his product. A few years back, I was asked if I'd be interested by fans. I was getting that a lot, and I joke around. I'd say, "Well, I think they've got the old guys standing around ringside. They've got that market cornered," and they did at that time. But things have changed. And I think that it's more effective, sometimes less is more, so they don't have as many managers. I knew I wasn't interested in doing a figurehead
Commissioner type?
Commissioner. I was looking for the right word. Figurehead commissioner, general manager, because I've done that before, and I think the shows actually work best when there's not as much shine on the figurehead commissioner, authority figure, I was thinking. And then Barry Bloom, my agent, came to me and he said, I've been talking with, he asked me if I wanted him to talk. And I said, yeah, I would like that. So we did. He had a nice talk with Tony Khan. Then I had a nice talk with Tony Khan. I mean, this is months after, the decision with WWE went down. Because honestly, Ariel, I was really happy and content doing my own thing. Life, the nostalgia world is treating me pretty kindly, especially after the pandemic. And I was out there literally 330 days on the road last year, which is more than I was ever on. Now, there might be times when I have 2 days off, and instead of flying home to spend 8 hours with my kids and flying back, I'll just stay on the road for 2 days and relax and recoup. But in those 330 days, I didn't even get a cough or a cold. 5 years at a certain point, 5 years running, I'd gotten pneumonia every single year. And then I would get a diagnosis. Okay, you need two weeks bed rest. In my ear, I'd hear 2 weeks bed rest. The other ear would be coming out going, okay, you'll be on that plane tomorrow to Dallas, and you're not missing a day of work. Wow. But now you see Kyle Busch died of pneumonia, and man, I'm going to put myself in the best possible position to not get sick like that by really trying to take care of myself. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm eating healthier. I'm feeling better. I believe in the healing powers of Crystal Gale's voice also. That's been a big deal. I'm wearing her shirt here. So
yes. I love it. And congratulations, by the way. 100 pounds, I do believe you've lost.
I sure have. Yeah, thanks, Ariel. I appreciate that.
By the way,
I just have to remember how good it feels walking now, so I never go down. To quote a Crystal Gale song, down that wrong road again. So, 272. I did get down to 258.
Wow.
Which was over, and now I'm like hovering in the mid 260s.
Okay. Wow. Well done. Well done. You did mention something there. You had lunch and started to know Tony Khan 15 years ago. What was the circumstance around that? Because that was long before he got into all of this.
Yeah, it was. Alex Marquez is a journalist in South Florida. Why he knew the Jaguars, I don't know. But he said, hey, a friend of mine is a big fan of yours. His father owns the Jaguars. He's a good guy. And we know you're in town. Would you like to have lunch with him? I said, yeah, sure. And I haven't forgotten it. Like,
wow.
He's got that indomitable spirit, right? To see Tony backstage, it's really the word I'm coming up with joyous, because he's filled with joy in that position. Like, he jumps up. First thing he does is ask people if they're okay, and then he's happy. He's really happy. And I'm not saying, I've said many times there's no one way to cross the finish line. Whether it's wrestling or portraying Santa Claus, or whether it's producing a pay-per-view show. But I have to tell you, as a guy who always reacted better to a pat on the back than a kick in the butt, that style I would have really enjoyed that style. And Mr. McMahon had his own style, and of course, when he put you over, it meant a lot. He didn't do it nearly as much, but he didn't jump up from his seat to meet the talent that was coming through. Like, you had to take the walk over there. So I just marveled at it. I mentioned I did a little thing a couple of days ago where I said, after I did my in-ring promo, I think it was Darby who said, hey, I guess you're going to take off now. And I said, Darby, what am I going to do? Go to my hotel and watch Friends reruns? Like, this is going to be not only a show, this is going to be a great show. And I'm still a wrestling fan. So I watched some of the matches in catering, which is what we usually do. And I grabbed a couple of the guys and I said, hey, I'd really like to be out there to feel the emotion. And they had a player's entrance where we could stand in the player's tunnel and take in the emotion without attracting too much attention. And I saw what appeared to me to be one of the greatest pay-per-view shows I've ever witnessed.
Wow. So you liked it that much. As far as your role now, what is it? You showed up on the pre-show. You had the deal with Renee and Darby and MJF. What is your role in AEW?
Well, I think my role is to be the Swiss Army knife of AEW, and I'll work in wherever I can and wherever they need me best. And there's quite a few things I can do. I can host those shows with Renee. Renee's so much fun to work with. I think I could do a good job on publicity for being sent out a day or two early to get some publicity. I believe I could, take on a managerial role for a handful of misfit baby faces.
Oh, I love that.
Or heels, and try to take some of the guys in the middle of the card and give them a little boost up a little closer to the top of the card. One thing I want to say, Ariel, is that this is one of the first things I said to Tony, is that AEW has done a really good job of making their mid-card mean something. And that's one place where I will compare them, the two companies, and say they do a much better job in the mid-card. I think there's just a little bit more pride. I think, going back to the way WWE did things, they would build a tag team for 2-3 years, have them win the tag team title multiple times, and then two big stars who'd never teamed would face the tag team and destroy them, showing you that the tag team was never that important to begin with. That would be the message that I would get as a fan. And I don't think you see that type of thing. That was one of the things that drew me into AEW, because I had, as long as we were going with a Friends reference, I was taking a break from wrestling for a couple of years. My children were all grown-ups, and they were no longer living in the house. And we all loved watching wrestling together. And when they weren't there, I found myself no longer drawn to it. And then I started hearing some waves about AEW, about WWE as well. I started tuning into both shows, and I honestly just felt like I gravitated more to the AEW product. Can I give you a theme park comparison?
Sure.
Ariel?
Sure.
So, I love my theme parks, right? Santa's Village in New Hampshire, Storyland in Glen, Vermont, and there's a couple other phenomenal family-owned amusement parks. Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, and Knoebels Grove in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. So in the case of Storyland, wow, a family-owned and operated for some 60 years, and then a corporation bought it. And 2 years later, I go with my family, and on some accounts, it's nicer because they've had the money to put in a couple cool new rides, but it just loses a little bit of the magic. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what I feel from watching the two shows is that AEW has that little bit of magic, and WWE has kind of lost it. I think when you're part of a corporation and the bottom line is everything, you take away from your mid-card by making it clear that what you're selling is more important than the product in the ring. And I wonder if that's why, I have a lot of young fans who weren't even born when I was wrestling. And they'll come up to me and they'll talk to me about matches. Now, I can't prove this, but I wonder if part of the reason the younger audience is drawn to matches from my era is because we called the matches. Like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were locked in on the matches. There weren't so many things they had to go to that would take people out of that suspension of disbelief. That's just a theory on my part. But I think, 10, 20 years down the line, the matches that JR called, whether it was with the King or whether it was with Jim Cornette in WCW, they'll stand the test of time, I think, better than the current matches in WWE because it seems like the matches are a means to an end instead of something to be enjoyed for themselves. So I just feel like at this point, AEW has the personal ownership shows in a way and a love and a feeling of magic that I don't think the corporate ownership of WWE displays nearly as well.
I do also wonder if there's any part of you that sees yourself in AEW and maybe even in Tony. Last week I said, I called Tony the little engine that could. And some of the fans online were like, how could you call a billionaire the little engine that could? But if you actually understand what's going on here, it's one singular guy, not backed by anyone else, no greater entity supporting him, going up against this machine and not backing down. He, to me, is the little engine that could. And you have always been that guy. You've always been the underdog. You've always been the sort of guy that everyone, you wrestled in sweatpants, for goodness sakes, when you were at your peak. And so I wonder if you kind of connect more with that as opposed to what you're seeing on the other side of the fence. Do you feel that way now that you've been there backstage?
That's a really good question. I do. I think I do connect. I do connect with a guy like Tony, who's a little bit different. I gave the promo about Darby because I knew he was a guy who was different. And a lot of people find comfort in professional wrestling because they may not be as comfortable with themselves, outside of that world. And the best move I ever made in wrestling was having the confidence to believe that I could speak to fans who were outside of the fans we were marketing to. Like, I remember thinking, not everybody's hip and slick and cool. I knew for a fact I'm not hip and slick and cool. I remember thinking to myself, there's a lot more of me out there than there is of them. And that's why, let me see, I'm trying to think the time zone. Late 88, summer of 98, after the Cell match, I took a bet. I gambled on believing there was an audience that would be open to a kinder, gentler type of wrestler. We still get in the ring and do what needed to be done, but somebody who said please, and that I remember Vince McMahon one time when I drove into the parking lot for my empty arena match with Wayne Johnson, and I said thank you to the driver, and he was like, thank you, because at that point, like Steve Austin was so big, and that's great, but there's a reason why he became Steve Austin, because he was a singular character. But what I saw in the locker room was a lot of people trying to be Steve Austin light, which meant nobody was actually kind of heart, gentle in the least. You know, you'd have somebody, a bad guy, come into the babyface dressing room and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you for a second. The good guy would start beating him up in the dressing room. I was like, that doesn't seem like something a good guy would do. And I took a gamble. And I believe that's why wrestling in general reaches people who don't feel like they quite fit in. And I think my character in particular reached out to those people and made them feel like it was okay not to be like everybody else. So in that same vein, I see guys like Darby Allin. I see a handful of guys that I might be able to take in as a stable of sorts, you know, who don't look like what wrestlers are supposed to look like or act or think like they are. I just think there's room for everyone in AEW. I really do. And hey, it goes without saying that the better AEW does, the better it is for WWE's talent. And in the end, I'm all about wanting the men and women to make money and save money as well and live happily ever after.
No one put their body through more than you. And when you see what Darby is doing to himself week in and week out, is there any part of you that would like to tell him at some point, hey, you don't have to do this much. This is going to really hurt in 20 or so years?
Yes, I will have that conversation. I didn't think the time to have the conversation was hours before his biggest match. I've been told that people have had that conversation with him, and he says everybody does their best stuff in the pay-per-views. I owe it to my fans to do it on every televised event. So I'll try to talk with Darby. I didn't know until about 6 weeks ago that I was an inspiration in his career, because I'd known him since he was probably 17 years old, going back 10 years. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't know exactly how old Darby is, but he really was the quiet kid who looked like he didn't quite fit in. So the promo I gave that genuinely seemed to fire him up was all from the heart. And they were all factual. They were all statements based in fact. But I will have that talk with him and try to find out, like, there's got to be another gear where you can allude to the things, give people 80% of what you usually do, knowing that the vast majority of his fans will be thankful for what he gives them. And they will understand that they might have to wait until a special event to get the 100% Darby. But I understand many a man has tried and failed. But I'll give him the best advice I possibly can.
In my opinion, right now, the best heel in the business is MJF.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's on fire. Would love to hear your thoughts on him and how he did in that match, but overall, the body of work, what he's been doing as of late.
Well, I was sold on MJF from the moment I saw him at a independent show in Alaska, maybe 2018, 19, somewhere around there. I thought, man, what a fantastic independent heel this guy is. Honestly, I didn't think he could project toughness at that point. And I thought, hey, nothing wrong with being a great independent heel, but I don't know if he can project toughness to the point where he can contend with the top guys in either organization. And I'm happy to admit I was wrong on that, because he does. He can and he does, and he was good already on the microphone. But this guy, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say he's the best in the business on the microphone right now. He's good. I mean, he's not good. He's great. When I was toe to toe with him, I don't know if quite did justice to the words in my head where I was wanted to say, can we just take a moment to appreciate, the magnitude of what's happening right now? Because I didn't think I was ever going to be in a ring, maybe in a ring that size, waving to people, thanking them for, their kindness. But I didn't think I'd be in a ring helping create interest for a main event. And that was one of the first things Max did when he came through. Is he told me, you really helped set the tone. So you have people rooting for each other, thinking of each other, going back to Max. Yeah, he's amazing. And I really respect what he says about not needing a WrestleMania moment, because Ariel, I'm going to tell you that in life and in wrestling, we get to select our own WrestleMania moments. I'm finishing up my one-man show. I've got, I think, 3 shows left. And I alternate stories, but the core stories is 3 or 4 core stories that stay the same. And 2 of them were matches in front of 150 people or less. And they become so meaningful because of the work that was put in and the length we went to make it special. And no one will tell me those moments were not as good as appearing in front of 101,000 people at WrestleMania in Dallas. Don't get me wrong. That was amazing. But I even said in my Santa memoir, I was visiting a child who a few days earlier was just completely exhausted, didn't have a hair on his head, and asked his mom if I might be able to visit on Christmas Eve. Long story short, I didn't get a call because the young man hadn't been sent home until late on Christmas Eve. But I made my way over to that house the next day, and he was like a new child. He was running around. And Ariel, I think what I did as Santa in that room was one of my top 10 performances of my life. I looked over at the 3 adults. They had tears streaming down their eyes. And I walked out to my car, and I thought, I just had a WrestleMania moment. So anyone out there, whatever field you're in, I really believe we get to pick our own WrestleMania moments, that we don't allow anyone else to decide what success is. Like, we get to do that for ourselves. So I'm right on board with Max saying, don't leave a company you love to chase this elusive WrestleMania moment that you can actually create for yourself.
We talked about the weight. We talked about the state that you're in, your health. Is there any part of you that wants that final match? Do you want to have it in AEW? Tony was asked about it. He left the door open. I know you've been through so very much and certainly don't need it. And no one really retires ever in pro wrestling. Is there any part of you in the back of your mind that says, you know what, I'd like to do one final one and I want it to be in AEW?
Whoa, wow, it's definitely crossed my mind. The cinematic matches have opened up the door for guys whose cardio may be suspect. But I'll tell you what, this loss of 100 pounds made my life so much easier. Like, I used to have to stop a couple times just walking up a moderate hill. And now I don't even realize I'm walking up hills when I do them, because I'm not really getting winded, not like I used to. I don't know. I think that clearly, if I had a match, it would have to be a match that would avoid trauma to the head. Mm-hmm. Luckily, there's a whole lot of me to traumatize below the neck. So I think I have one more last good match in me.
Wow.
I just believe it would have to be, all the stars would have to align. All the stars would have to align. It would have to make sense. And Ariel, honestly, maybe that long-term goal of dropping an elbow off a TV truck onto a parked car, I had a serious talk with myself and realized just how much my hip replacement and later a knee replacement had changed my life. And I don't think they've got statistics on former knee replacement recipients dropping elbows off of TV trucks to parked cars. As a 50-50 chance, it could undo all of the good that it brought me. I don't know if I'm ready to take that chance, but I find my mind wandering sometimes, coming up with ideas that look better than they hurt, that rate higher on the instantaneous Foley risk-reward ratio analysis. And if I can come up with enough of those type of moves that allow me to, to risk a little bit less while still giving fans a good match, and if I feel like I'm up to it, then maybe a couple of years down the road, we will look into that. Stranger things have happened.
I know hindsight is 2020. You allude to the risks. You allude to the injuries. Are there any that you wish you could take back, that you wish you didn't do?
Well, we didn't know nearly as much. Let me get Crystal some airtime there. Hold on.
Yeah, she looks fantastic. Well done.
Doesn't she look amazing? Yeah.
Have you ever met her, by the way?
What's that?
Have you ever met her?
I have not, but we've been exchanging a couple messages after I posted with her shirt.
Well done.
And I wrote her a handwritten letter.
Wow.
Which she received. I take a lot of pride in my handwriting, Ariel. I'm not sure if you knew that about me.
No, I do, yeah.
I write the handwritten letters from not too many kids watching your show, right?
No.
Okay. Well, let's just say Santa needs helpers. He can't be expected to deliver toys around the globe and write all the letters. So I write about 40 letters a year, handwritten, and they go out to people like The Undertaker and Adam Copeland and Trish Stratus and Nora Jones, and Jewel was on that list until her son kind of aged out, and Kevin Owens. Like, it's a who's who.
Wow.
Even the Miz is a big fan of the letters. So I believe in the power of the handwritten letter because it shows some caring. And today there'll be a really nice video, a really nice story that I worked on, I think, for 5 or 6 hours, talking about how Crystal helped bring me out of a little bit of a dark place I was in. So
how long ago was that?
I think it's not just about being a fanboy. It's about finding strength and inspiration in unlikely places. So that'll be my Facebook, facebook.com/Real Mick Foley, or you just go to my website, realmickfoley.com, to learn more about that.
By the way, that dark place that you're talking about, how long ago was that?
Oh, a couple months. Yeah, okay. It was with my mom's passing and from dementia. Looking at my family's long history with dementia, throwing in my long history of head injuries, and thinking that, maybe I didn't have so many good years left. Crystal Gale's music in and of itself is not going to make 100% difference, but to find out who your friends are, lost a couple friends along the way, that are no longer friends, that they're not here with us. And with family and friends, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of therapy, I've come out brighter and happier, really, really in a good place. But part of that was the music of this lady.
I love that.
Part of it was that. Yeah. Hey, so as long as we're mentioning it, just people should know that we all get knocked down, right? We all get knocked down, whether it's physically, emotionally. Just a matter of getting back up. We all fall. We all get back up. Never heard a better quote in my life than that of Sylvester Stallone when he said, "Life's not about how hard you can hit. Life's about how hard you can get hit and keep getting up and moving forward. That's how winning's done." So life hit me pretty hard, and I decided I wanted to get up and keep moving forward, Ariel.
And I'm sorry about the loss of your mom. As a proud mama's boy, I feel your pain there. So I appreciate you mentioning that. I did want to go back to the question of regret. Do you have any regrets regarding what you put your body through?
Yeah. I started saying we don't know as much about head injuries. So, when I was coming in, first of all, concussion was something you shook off, right? It wasn't even something, and unless you were knocked out, it wasn't even considered a concussion. So I didn't put my hands up to block chairs, and that was a mistake. As I got older in WWE and started dealing with a lot of everyday pain, just aching. Right, like I didn't take as many risks as people thought, but there was always a lot of impact in what I did, and it would be like the clothesline over the top rope would often end in a bruise of the thigh, right, because I hit that ring apron hard, And it'd be like, is it a really bad one? Is it like the Charlie horse you can barely walk? No, not often, but it's always going to be hurting. And so I treated my pain with late night comfort food. And at a time when it really would have behooved me to go from 280 to 250, I went from 280 to 310. It was seemingly it was not affecting my matches at that point. But I also realized that when my knees were bad and I couldn't do some of the things that I like to do, that I was leading with my head more, and that I was taking chair shots at house shows, chair shots to the head, unprotected. I clearly wish I hadn't done that. The other one, Ariel, is I shouldn't have been dropping those elbows off the ring apron onto the concrete unless there was a TV camera on. And even then you could argue I shouldn't have been doing that. That was my big move. I thought this is where the Darby Allin philosophy comes in. I think everyone should see the best match that I have. And so it's a kind of a catch-22, because I would say, yes, I wouldn't have done those things, but it was doing those things that made me who I was, that got me where I went. But I still should have put my hand up when I saw metal objects traveling at high speed. So that's going to be my final answer. Should have put my hand up.
I will never forget taking my 7-year-old sister to the movie theater to watch a film called Beyond the Mat in 1999. A movie that I still say till this day, it's Beyond the Mat and Wrestling with Shadows for different reasons, greatest wrestling documentaries of all time. And you were obviously a principal character in Beyond the Mat. And it was very sad to hear about Barry Blaustein's passing recently. What a talent, what an unbelievable mind, and someone who truly respected the wrestling business. And it got me to think, and here's your tribute to Barry, who I know you considered a dear friend. And it was just such an amazing film. And it got me thinking a little bit about Unreal on Netflix and what they show on Unreal, going one step further from what we saw on Beyond the Mat, like literally the meetings and the way they talk about the business. And I'm wondering, someone like you who was a part of Beyond the Mat and who allowed the cameras to show behind the scenes at a time where it wasn't common, how do you feel about the step further that the company has taken? Again, the company didn't necessarily endorse Beyond the Mat, and certainly I think in the aftermath weren't happy with how much was shown, but they did allow the cameras to be there. But now they're actually producing a show like Unreal. Is that good for the business or bad for the business in your opinion?
Well, I know it's difficult to have the guy who wrote the memoir that that brought people behind the curtain, and who was in the documentary Beyond the Mat that brought people behind the curtain to say, hey, guys, they don't have to stay here. Like, we don't have to have them behind the curtain 24/7. Like, let's leave a little bit of the mystery. And I think, we're a show that's about the suspension of disbelief. Where I have an issue is where they'll be promoting Unreal on Raw or on SmackDown. And so I literally saw a segment where Seth Rollins admitted he'd been feigning. I still don't like to use the F word as an F-A-K-I-N-G. He was feigning an injury, and then they cut to the live show, and they have a character with a knee injury that we're supposed to now become emotionally invested in after we saw that another character had feigned his own injury. And it just seems to me like I was in a movie called I Am Santa Claus, about director who follows 5 real bearded Santa Clauses, and throughout the year finds out life's not always that jolly. And it's a great movie, but they shouldn't be advertising it during Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer commercials. And when I see Unreal being advertised during the show, it just strikes me as being somehow. Hold on a second. Just had somebody come in. Hey there. All right, Ariel, my battery is on like 2%.
Oh no!
So you have a way to wrap this thing up in your style?
Yes, I do. Do you want to finish your thought there?
My thought on
the Unreal.
Yeah, I think it's a little too much, too often. It's
there
all the time. You don't even have to seek it out like you would have had to with Beyond the Mat. Like, it's there all the time. My own opinion, and I know a lot of people share the opinion, it's just a little too easy to get behind that curtain. You know, when it was my book, you had to read it, right? You had to invest some time. When it was Beyond the Mat, you had to find Beyond the Mat, and you had to be of a certain type of fan who would enjoy that type of thing. And a lot of non-fans enjoyed it too. But now it's a click of the button away, and it's like watching a magic show on one network and then going immediately to another show where they explain everything they did. I still believe in the magic of wrestling. And when I go out and do my one-man shows, I may explain how something was done, but the explanation is going to make people respect it even more. The backstage process is fascinating. I don't mind glimpses, but the prolonged looks, I think it's going to sting a little bit.
I could pepper you with questions for the next 2 hours. I'm not going to do that.
Can I pepper you with a question, Ariel?
Yeah, but I don't want your phone to die, and then I'm going to...
Well, if it dies, it dies.
Ugh.
It will not have died in vain. How did Holly Holm not get the decision?
You watched that?
I did watch it.
Wow.
And I saw you on there, and I was like, wait a second. So you land 30% more punches. You land better punches. You press the action, and you pick up an L.
I didn't know Mick Foley was a boxing fan. This is tremendous.
I mean, I used to take these deep dives into the 70s guys.
Oh, my gosh. I thought she won.
I thought she won. It just seems like boxing has got to stop insulting its audience.
It's tough. It's tough when they go to these local markets and there's judges who may have biases. I don't know exactly what they were thinking, but sitting there live, and certainly it seems like everyone at home as well thought she won. Sitting there live, I thought she had done enough. I thought she won by 2 or 3 rounds. So, yeah, one of those crazy things. If you're ever in New York, Mick, I got to say, even hearing you say my name is a little bit surreal because of how much I admired and looked up to you as a youngster. The 18-year-old, 19-year-old version of me who was doing a show at Syracuse University about pro wrestling is on cloud 9 right now. And so I can't thank you enough. Congratulations on the new deal. Congratulations on all the great things that are happening in your life. Again, I wish I could ask you about a million other things. I wanted to ask you about Undertaker, the Booker, and AAA down in Mexico, but we have run out of time, and so we'll save that for another day. I urge everyone to check out the website, the Facebook, and everything that you're doing. Well done for standing up for your convictions, for being a man of honor and backing what you say. And I wish you nothing but the best over in AEW, and I really can't thank you enough for giving us a few minutes here today.
Hey, thanks for your time, Ariel. I really appreciate it.
All the best.
Have a nice day.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. There he is, the one and only Mick Foley, hitting us with the have a nice day. Wow. Can we add that one, Frank? Can we add have a nice day? That's an unbelievable drop right there.
Damn right we can.
Mick Foley, guys. Mick Foley. I remember reading, I think I probably said this to him in our first interview that was back in 2019 at ESPN, and reading his book around the time. I mean, what about that line about getting knocked down as we talk about what Dana said yesterday? Dana is who he is, Mick Foley is who he is. They don't have to be the same. But I obviously subscribe a little bit more to what Mick was saying, that, hey, it's okay to hurt. It's okay to be in pain. It's okay to suffer. And it's also really good to get back up and not let that overcome you. And when I was at Syracuse and I was doing my thing and I was trying to fight and I was trying to survive and I was trying to get out of the darkness, his book helped me out a lot. Because this man has been through a lot and he was not supposed to succeed. And he did such a great job of telling his story of right. It was just, he's an inspiration. And please, you may agree with his politics, you may not agree with his politics, but to me the lesson is he believes something in his heart, and so he is going to stand up for what he believes in, and he's going to make a difficult choice, and he's not going to burn a bridge, hopefully, on the way out, but he's going to make a difficult choice and say, you know what, I'm going to separate myself from this because I don't feel good about it. That's the lesson. Rather than get into the weeds as to the why, get into the weeds as to the how he dealt with that, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot to be learned there. So I don't agree with every single thing. To me, it's how you conduct yourself. And I feel like he's doing that with respect and grace, and he's not throwing stones on the way out. And so let's see what he does in AEW. Let's see what he does. I think this is going to be supremely interesting. All right. Speaking of interesting, it was announced about 2 weeks ago that Scott Coker is back. Now, Scott Coker has been in the business for so very long. First MMA show was 2006 in California. Prior to that, the kickboxing event, Strikeforce K1, you know the deal. And then he goes to Bellator. And then about 2 years ago, he just disappears. We don't hear from him anymore. But we found out about 2 weeks ago that he is back, that he's starting this new promotion. And so I have a million questions for our old friend Scott Coker, and I do believe he is here. Is he actually here? He is actually here. Wow. Welcome back. Like he never left. My old friend Scott.
Man,
great to
it's
see
been
you.
a long time, brother.
It has been a long time. So great to see you. Please have a seat.
I've been
Welcome
watching
to
you,
our
though.
new home.
You're doing very
I don't know.
well. You're doing very well.
I don't know if you know this. We have a show here because you were out of the business for a bit.
Yep.
So good to see
It's
you,
nice.
Scott.
Look at this.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, it's great to be here.
I missed you, Scott. You kind of disappeared on us there for a second. You went out the back door. I tried to get you on the show many times, get your side of things. I even
Yeah.
sent you a text congratulating you.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get a text back.
I did.
Yeah?
I text you back. I
You
said
did?
Thank you. Yeah, I said thank you.
I'm not sure, but I'm going to look back.
I have my phone.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. But Scott, there's so much to talk to you about.
So much.
And I'm so happy you're here.
Yep.
You got the band back together. Are you looking up the text right now?
No, I'm
okay.
playing most of it doesn't ring. Sorry.
This is amazing. Okay, so we have a million questions. I have a million questions.
Far away.
But we need to go back to the beginning of this.
Okay.
Why didn't you continue with the PFL? What happened there?
You know, to be honest, as Bellator was winding down, I met with Don and Peter, I believe. We met 2 or 3 times, and I just said, you know what? I don't think it's a good fit. Because
Did they offer you something?
we they definitely wanted to work something out.
Okay.
We didn't get to the part where it was. They even offered me after there was like silence. They offered me an independent contractor role, but I said if I'm going to do this again, I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to do it with my own company. And that was really what the genesis was going with them or not going with them. Was I want to be an entrepreneur. That's my background, and Viacom was really my first job as an adult, actually. Where I had to fill out a job application. I'm not sure if I told you the story.
You had to fill out a job application.
Yeah, so
Why?
so what happened was, Kevin Kay and I sat down, made a deal. Contract, Viacom is this thick, as you know, right?
Yeah.
So we're done. And so submitted in. About 2 weeks later, I get a call from HR saying, hey, I need you to fill out a job application. And I said, what? Yeah, they really didn't do this right. They need to have you fill out a job application. We need to post it. We need to interview 3 or 4 people for your job. And then we had to pick the best candidate. And then, like a judge.
Yeah. Wow, geez.
I said, wow. So I looked at the job application. I said, oh, this is funny. Where'd you go to school? Where'd you get, what
Wow.
is this? What is that? And so I said, I sent to Carrie. I said, Carrie, just fill this out for me and send it in, please, because this is annoying. But that's really like the first time I filled out a job application as an adult was doing this event. Doing the gig I had over at Viacom and in Bellator.
Okay, so you decide to not continue, and that was 23 going on to 24 as far as the year, 2023. And so do you take a break from MMA at that point?
Oh, yeah, I did. It was great because I took about 8 months to a year off.
Wow.
And just relax. And honestly, it was like the end of like the Bellator era was very, very tough. It was very tough. It was
In
very
what
hard.
way?
Because you see something that has so much potential. To be honest with you, I'll give you a nice one here. So I went in with a private equity firm. I don't want to mention their name because I didn't ask them, but
Sure.
very big private equity firm. And we offered to buy Bellator.
Thank you, Josh.
We offered to buy Bellator from Paramount.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So this was about when I first heard they're going on sale. And they said, no, we can't sell it to you, specifically me, because I'm, CEO of their company that's owned by Viacom, and it'll lead to shareholder lawsuits or this and that. So I actually did try to buy it, and they just said, no, we can't do it. We can't even do a deal.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I said, you know what? There's not too many operators that can operate at this level to really run this thing. So, that was their answer. And then I
Did
knew.
you try to buy it with cash? Because I know the PFL deal was an equity deal, right?
Yeah, and I don't even know exactly what the deal was, honestly.
Okay.
But I've heard rumors, but the deal was some cash. But this private equity firm was willing to put in $150 million of operating capital.
Wow.
To growth capital. They wanted to put in growth capital, and Paramount would have been diluted down, or Viacom would have been diluted down to a certain percentage. But that was the offer, and it was a written offer that they received, but it just didn't work out, so they did their deal. But to watch this unfold after so much work, because there's one thing, Ariel, to do a fight company where you're building from the ground up. like Strikeforce.
Yep.
Building from the ground up, all new staff, all new, But when I remember sitting down with Kevin Kay, and I said, Kevin, I don't know if I can even help you because this ship is tilting already, right? I'm jumping on a ship that might tilt and that might sink as I'm on it. So I go, it's going to be much harder. And it sure was. Once I jumped on, I said, which I came on board because I really loved Kevin, and Kevin was my guy. So I said, okay, I'm going to battle with you. Let's go do this. So when I jumped on, it was, you're flushing out the water from the bottom of the boat as you're trying to build. And, we had a great team. We had a great staff, got rid of some people there, put some more people in. But at the end of the day, it was much more difficult than, I think, building from scratch. And so that's why this new opportunity is so, it's been so much fun. And so it's been amazing. So I'm having a great time putting this team together. As you know, we made some announcements today.
Yes. And we're going to get to all those.
Okay.
I'm trying to build up to it.
Yes.
This is storytelling here. There's an arc. One thing that I've always talked about, and I'm wondering, I don't know if I've ever asked you the question, but now that it's over, maybe you can have some great insight into it. I always felt like the last promotion outside of the UFC, the fans felt some sort of way about that they were tribal about was Strikeforce. They wanted to rep Strikeforce. I remember the arguments online about Strikeforce.
Sure.
This is better than that, this and that. I never felt like Bellator had that magic.
Yeah.
Bellator never was able to connect with fans. No one's wearing Bellator merch. No one felt like they were a proud Bellator fan. Why do you think that was? What was the difference between Strikeforce and Bellator?
Again, part of it is you're jumping on a ship that's already on the way. And it was a tournament format, remember? And we got rid of the tournament because the way they did the tournament was very confusing, even for me as a fan. I mean, I'm like, this is like, how many different weight classes? And their fights were in, like a small casino shows. It was, made for TV show. I get it. But it was confusing to follow. And I think that if you want to follow a fight company, you better have good storytelling and it better be easy to follow. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. So, Strikeforce was, I love that company. It was, it was something that I was very proud of. And look how many great athletes that we developed. But we're bringing that same, the same spirit to this next company. And you'll see a lot of familiar faces, more than we announced today. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you take a break from MMA when you left?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't watch anything? Did you even watch the new Bellator? Those events?
You know what? I really didn't. I really didn't watch UFC. I didn't watch
Nothing. You needed a break.
Needed a break. And you know what? I stayed home a lot, just, spent time with my friends. And you know what I really did, Ariel, is I made a list of all the friends I haven't seen in a long time.
Okay.
And I just said, okay, I'm going to go see this guy. Just go visit.
I didn't make the list, apparently.
Oh no, you're big time.
You wouldn't even write me back.
This is like, come on, you're big time now. So
I've been thinking about you a lot, by the way, because I remember when the Warriors made it to the finals for the first time and how happy you were.
Yep.
And my New York Knicks, Scott, we're right there. We're right there.
I'm rooting for the Knicks.
We're right there, Scott.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Oh, I have so many Warriors fans in my life, and I remember what it meant to you guys. You, Rich Chow, all these.
Yeah.
And I remember that moment when you guys finally won, and I was so jealous and happy for you.
Yep.
And it's all I could think about, honestly. But that's neither here nor there.
Tomorrow night, big game.
You going?
Ooh, I'm not going. San Antonio?
San Antonio, that's right. See, this is how thrown off.
If it was here, I would go.
You would go.
Oh, heck yeah.
Of course.
I would go.
When does this start to kind of ruminate in your brain, this idea? So you say you take a break for 8 months to a year,
yeah.
When do you start to develop this idea?
I have a friend, Peter Levin, that is co-owners of Griffin Gaming. But he and I have been friends a long time.
Upper Deck as well?
Well, he's the one that put the Upper Deck deal together.
Got it, okay.
But he's been in the gaming industry for a long time. But what people don't know about Peter is he was also Rampage Jackson's manager in Pride, Mark Coleman's manager in Pride, and he was also Randy Couture's manager in Pride. So he repped fighters at that time. And he went on to do some great things, and he opened this fund, and this is his third round. I think they're like the largest gaming fund in the world. They have about $1.6 billion of assets that they manage. He's opened another fund for $100 million, and then we started talking, and he was on me about this because he's like, we got to do this. Like
He's pushing you.
He's pushing me.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, I just needed a break because he started pushing me about 3 months in.
Okay.
And I said, hey, I need to golf a little bit. I need to just take time out, go see my family and go see some friends and just chill out because the ending of Bellator was very rough. Even all the people around me to see what happened to them, it was very hard because then they closed Showtime Boxing too. I mean, that was difficult to watch after 40 years of boxing or whatever it was. It was like, all of a sudden everybody's out in the street, looking for work. So that whole demise of that era of combat sports over there, I think it was very hard for me to watch that. So I need to take a step back. And, it was nothing against Don or Peter, but it was really, I just said, this is not a fit. I felt like these guys have great intentions, but the execution and the operation of a fight company, the way it needs to be run, is a little bit different in my opinion.
You feel validated. They're both gone, and the company's completely different. You feel like your instincts were right.
I don't know, because look, anytime you can have a company that's involved in our sport, right, and they have tens of millions of dollars to put into the fighter purses and the staff, and you got to root for them, right, because you don't want anybody to fail. But for me, it just wasn't a good fit. And I went back to what is it that I want to do? So I want to be an entrepreneur again. I don't want to retire, because I was kind of, like, I can only golf so much. Mm-hmm. My friend Peter, though, did say something in the article that really upset me. He said that I was a bad golfer. And I said, oh, really, Peter? I'm a bad golfer? Like, are you serious?
What is your handicap?
Oh, well, let's not talk about that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But I'm sure you've had a lot of time over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so, I'm just joking, because I think we're about the same handicap.
Okay, fair enough.
But we had a great time talking, and he was, he said, look, I really want to do this, and I want you to do it with me, and I could put together a team around you that's going to be amazing, financial people, right? And you'll have the ability to hire the staff that you want to have, and that you need to grow this company, the next company, because that was important, right?
How long ago is this now? Like, how long has this been in the actual works for?
I'd say, to get to this point, I'd say about a year and a half ago, I hired a business development guy.
Okay.
To start writing out the plan.
Okay.
And the plan really was, let's just see if I want to do this, right? And, can we get to a point where I think that this is something that the community would like, the community that needs it? Because I said this in other interviews too. It's like, I feel like there's a little bit of a funk in the MMA space right now, right? And Ariel, I don't know what it is. It's not like I say, this is what it is. But I just feel it's just a little bit, it's got a funk to it right now. So, let's go stir it up. The thing with MVP, like their show, hey, they're stirring it up. They're stirring the pot. It gets people excited. It gets people, to root for somebody. And then we're going to do the same. People are going to root for us too. And we're going to go stir it up. So to me, I think the sport needs a little bit of shaking the cage, and it's something we're really good at. So I'm excited about, this new venture. But a year and a half ago, I started working with a guy named Lawrence Stewart. Peter introduced me to him. He's a business development, guy. And so we started working together. And I'd say, probably, I'd say about 7 months ago, we finally had something that looked like something I could really get behind.
Was there a moment where you said, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to get back into this? Start all over again? Did you have that moment? And then obviously the answer was yes, but did you need to check in at some point before you finally went all in?
No, I think I enjoyed the process along the way.
Okay.
I said, okay, this is getting exciting to me. This is going to be fun for me. And to me, it's like, I love martial arts, right? That's what this is about, I mean, it's time to bring martial arts back to MMA. That's how I feel. It's something that I think that if you look at like body of work or the people around me that have contributed, we've had some great teams in my past, and this is going to be something that I feel is going to have great legs, and it's going to go for years and years and years, and we're putting the right team together, the right people together, and we're going to do it right.
So you announced a couple weeks ago that you're back, all this stuff, but it's like it's a slow trickle of news, because even today, as you mentioned, you announced the team, which I'll ask you about in a moment. I have to imagine you announced on that day for a strategic reason, because you didn't announce a name, a date, a broadcast partner. So why did you announce before all of that was finalized?
Yeah, it's real simple, because when we had basically all the paperwork done with all the investor group, and then it was funded, then we went press play immediately, because we thought that it was going to leak. Right?
Okay.
There's going to be a leak. So I didn't want people to control the narrative. I wanted to control the narrative. So we sent out the press release last week. And, I think that he had a great response. And I think the community really got behind it and excited about it. So
I think it was very exciting. You're a familiar face. You're a trusted face. People know your track record. But, it's not all like lollipops and rainbows here, Scott. We asked tough questions as well.
Don't believe me.
And so I said, the day it was announced that I loved everything about it except for one thing. And I believe, and you have referenced it in this interview and other interviews and in the press release, the dirtiest word in MMA is tournament. And so I ask you, Scott, why?
Okay, hold on. Now, time out. So
Why? I hate that word.
I think that you're mixing me up with the other guys that threw their tournaments.
But
Have
I
you
think
ever?
we have tournament fatigue.
Okay, well, then this is going to be different because.
Why? Tell me. What's
Well,
the
I can't give you all the details, but here's the thing. Have you ever known one of my tournaments to be boring? Ever?
Sometimes they drag, and sometimes
Really?
the results don't play out the way you want them to play out. You want this guy. To me, the magic of Strikeforce was you put on fun fights.
And a tournament.
What was the tournament? What was the best tournament? The heavyweight Grand Prix?
Well, the heavyweight
at the very end.
I mean, Daniel Cormier became a big star there.
I'm talking Kung Lee versus Frank Shamrock.
I
I'm
love
talking
it. I
Frank
love it.
Shamrock.
Well, why
versus,
can't we do both?
It seemed to me. So now, so tell me.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like the DNA of the company is this tournament.
Well,
Are you telling me
there's going to be super fights as well, right?
Okay. When I think of Strikeforce, I think of Melvin Manhoff versus Robbie Lawler. I think of
Ouch.
maybe my favorite knockout of all time. You know, I think of that card in
I talked to
St.
Melvin
Louis.
last week.
Legend.
He's like,
Coming back.
No. He's actually promoing now.
Oh, wow. In Holland.
Yeah, in Holland. He's got a little fight league that he's doing, and I told him I'd come out to his next show. I think at the end of June, he's got a fight in or Rotterdam, something like that. But he's out
I think
there.
of
He's
Nick
promoting.
versus Paul Daly. I think of Chris versus Gina. And you know what all those fights have in common? They weren't tournament fights. They were just fun fights that you and your matchmaking team put together. And so why not go back to that?
Well, we're going to do some of that too. We're going to have something for everybody. But I would say just have an open mind.
Okay, no, I do.
And the tournaments to me is like, I came from a different school because I grew up in a martial arts school where you go compete and everybody lines up in a tournament. There's 16 fighters on the thing. You go compete and it's until you have one person left, right? That's kind of I grew up. Pride was a tournament. K1's a tournament. UFC was a tournament in the beginning, right?
Well, there was a tournament component, but there were also fun fights. So what you're saying is it won't just be a tournament.
That's right.
Because Bellator was once a tournament only, and PFL
no,
was
we're not going to be a tournament only.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I'm glad we cleared this up because I was worried.
No. We're going to put on great super fights.
Okay.
So yeah.
So how many tournaments, let's say, in 2027?
Well, there's only been one tournament.
There's only one tournament. So let's say there'll be one for X division, and then the rest of the cards will be filled out by fun fights.
That's right. Full super fights.
Amazing. Do you have a launch date?
Exact launch date? Not yet, but we're
Launch month?
Yeah, we're going to launch in January of 27.
Okay. Do you have a broadcast partner?
We are. I mean, this company is only like a week old, so
Well, technically not. You
Yeah.
announced it a week ago, but
I mean, Kevin Kay just came on board, and
congratulations.
I mean,
Chief
come on.
Content Officer and legend of the game, Spike TV president.
Legend. I feel
What a
so
guy.
lucky, so blessed.
That's
an
an amazing get for you guys.
But I tell you what, since we announced it, we've had inquiries with everybody.
Okay.
As you can imagine.
When do you think you'll announce your broadcast partner? Because you would agree, without a broadcast partner, without distribution, you have nothing, right?
Well, I think this, and keep in mind, like when you talk about combat sports, right? There's going to be revenue streams from all over the world for this product, not just here, because we're going to travel and do fights all over the world. So we've already had inquiries from like some of my past partners in Bellator that were probably our biggest paying, license holders that have already reached out and said, "Hey, we want to have a conversation." So we're talking to everybody, and so now the ball begins because now we have our infrastructure, at least our top 6-7 employees. Executives on board, and so now the growth begins.
When do you think you announce your American TV partner or streaming?
I think you should have Kevin Kay on here, and he should answer that question for you.
Do you think we'll know soon? That to
Yes.
me is the biggest question.
Yeah,
Okay, because PFL is out there now shopping their rights.
Yeah, everybody is.
And there was a report in SBJ today saying they're done with ESPN.
Oh, I didn't know.
Essentially, in all intents and purposes. So it feels like what do you think of the landscape right now? It's different, right? There's no Showtime anymore. There's no Spike TV anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like I always said this. Like this business is like the natural laws of economic supply, right? Supply and demand. And so when there's too much supply, then the consolidation will happen. Right? Some companies will go out, some companies will consolidate. It just happens all the time. I mean, you've been around a long time. Yeah. It's like, man, I remember doing your very first podcast or interview back way back here in New York. But it's like when the sport starts shaking a little bit, then consolidation happens, right? How many leagues have we seen collectively go in and out, right? So to me, that's really what I think will happen, and maybe we'll go buy some companies,
Oh, are you into that? Are you looking into that?
If it makes business sense, we'll definitely have that conversation.
How many fighters do you want to have on your roster as you kick off?
You know what? I think we're gonna sign a good, probably to start maybe 100, 150 fighters. Yeah.
Okay. And is there a certain type of fighter you're looking for? Are you just looking for youngsters with 5 or less fights? Are you looking for vets? What's?
I think that we're going to be looking for all different kinds.
Okay, so there's no specific kind.
Because you know what? To me, it's like, look, I want to go back to where you go to an event and you see great fights, right?
Yes.
You see great fights. I mean, even I've been like our fight night I do with Gilbert, right?
Yeah.
Great fights, man.
You have a show next Saturday.
Next
June 19th,
Saturday.
Yeah.
And Gilbert's been an amazing partner. Honestly, this kid is working hard and he's learning the business. And I'm really proud of him. And he's going to do great things for us too, But
He's going to be working for you.
well, he's going to be working with us. I mean, he does have multiple gyms and he has other commitments, but
Gotcha.
he will definitely be part of this company. And,
Amazing.
And some of his team that's around him that do amazing work. So, but I lost my train of thought here.
I keep peppering. I have so many questions for you, Scott, I keep peppering you.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, where's your home base? Bay Area?
Yeah, I still live in San Jose.
No, but meaning, where's the home? Because that's what I thought was special about Strikeforce. You had a home.
We will do fights in the Bay Area for sure.
HP Pavilion?
HP Pavilion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will the first one be there? That would be poetic.
You know what? Not sure because availability, because they got to announce the hockey schedule.
Sure.
That sort of thing. Because they have a good team now. So
They do, yeah.
It's selling
Got
well.
the young Canadian.
Ooh,
Celebrini.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's making a lot of noise in San Jose because before, let's say the last 3-4 years, they kind of had like a rough, run, and you go there, the stadium was like 3/4 full. Not like the old days. Now it's like the old days where it's just packed to the rafters, and he's brought a lot of
Greatest
excitement.
memories of my life have been those shows in San Jose.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I think
remember.
back to, like I said, Shamrock and Diaz and Shamrock and Kung and Gina and Chris. We miss that nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when you say that the sport is lacking something, I've used the word soulless at times. Why do you think that is?
I can't put my finger on it. Honestly, it's like I look at the business thing. I mean, the sport. I mean, think about like the sport. How much revenue is coming into some of these companies? It's massive, but there's something missing, and I don't even know what it is. It's like, is it the talent? Is it the business structure? Is it the television deal? Is it they're not getting promoted? But the one thing that I can do to contribute is we have star identified, star built fighters from the ground up better than anybody else, and we're going to go back to doing that. We're going to put the team together that did that to continue doing that, because I really feel like we're going to have scouts all over the country, all over the world actually, and we're going to be looking for that next. I always call it the diamond in the rough, right? Because they're out there, but they need to be discovered, and we're going to go sign top young talent as well as part of this offering, and I'm excited about that because they're going to come and they're going to bring it, right? They're going to come and bring it, but when you have the ability to sign a young fighter, it's like, how you nurture them, how you build their career. That really is, I think, the special sauce that we're very good at. And, it's something that, if you look at the track record, Daniel Cormier, when I signed, he had no fights, and neither did Tyron Woodley or Luke Rockhold. So, and there's a list that goes on,
Of course.
And AJ McKee, he's a guy that's so much talent. I saw him at an amateur fight that his dad promoted, and I signed him, and we took him in. He was already good, though. He was already a great talent. And then we signed him in his first fight. I think that Usman was already fighting, but I said to my guys, look, we got to sign Usman. I want him. I want Pico. I told Bob Cook, I got to have Pico. You just tell me what it costs. And let's make a deal. So anyway, I think we're very good at star identification. I think that's something that's missing from the sport today.
I don't think there's any doubt to that. When you see Dana now, what do you make of his demeanor and his passion for the sport?
I don't really know. I know he's on TV a lot, doing a lot of commercials and like that. I see him more on commercials than I do watching the UFC, because I really haven't watched it.
You
for the
don't
last
watch
couple
it.
years. No,
You haven't tapped back in to see what they're doing.
A little bit.
What do you make of the product?
I mean, to me, it looks consistent, but to me, it's like, it's kind of weird, because if you say who are the, name 4 champions from the UFC in the weight classes, I don't think I could do it right now, and I think a lot of my friends can't do it right now. So it's just something, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's too much. It's on every week, in front of your face
Yeah.
too much. I mean, I don't know, but
Oversaturation.
maybe it is.
So how many
Maybe it
events
is.
would you like to put on?
We're going to do 12 fights for sure.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And what's the goal eventually? Like what's the ceiling as far as how many you think is that sweet spot number?
Yeah, I think eventually a good fight company could do 24 fights a year.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're doing something like 43.
Yeah, 42.
Too much.
I think they've always done it. Right?
Yeah.
But
Since the Fox deal.
But the thing is, like when you have pay-per-view, it's different because then you opt to buy in or you opt to buy out. And the psychology of pay-per-view is very funny because when you watch a boxing fight, let's say you use boxing example, and it's not on pay-per-view now, but it's free, it doesn't seem as special to the consumer, I think, right? Oh, it's not on pay-per-view because they're so used to buying pay-per-view for the big mega fights. So when they get it for free, maybe they just don't look at it like, oh, this is a special enough fight for me to engage in, And that's just an opinion. I'm not sure. I haven't done any study on it. But it's just, like I said, something in the sport right now. I don't think, like, who are the next stars of the sport, right? Who are the next stars? Well, when I was promoting in Strikeforce, I knew who the next stars were going to be. Bellator, even, I knew. We've done it. Because we always built from the ground up, and then we bought from the top down. Right, you know that. So
yeah.
I've used that formula for my whole fight career. So we're going to apply the same philosophy here. We're going to build. We're going to go mining. We're going to go mining for the next stars.
Has that started yet?
Well, seeing that this is Rich's first day, and that this company's like a week old. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I think he's
Rich,
great talent.
Kevin K. Chris de Blasio. These are all OGs. I got the press release today, but you know who was missing from the press release?
CJ Tuttle.
My guy.
I know.
Best in the business.
I love. You have no idea.
Where's CJ? Is he here? Oh, there's Chris. Hello, Chris. How are you? CJ Tuttle. Best PR guy day to day in the business. With all due respect to the company in front of us here.
Yeah.
But I view Chris on a different sort of like playing field.
Yeah.
More executive, corporate guy. Love CJ.
Well,
I remember CJ, young buck reporter for SureDog.com. He's
I remember
come a long way.
Yeah, I remember
that was your greatest free agent acquisition, bringing him over here.
I definitely think that he's making a difference. And
This is good.
But personally, he's like a family member to me. I love that kid.
We bringing Kogan back too?
Kogan has a job.
I know.
Man.
Well, some of these guys had jobs too.
Yeah, but he's in a fight company, right?
Okay,
It's like it's a little
You're not
bit
trying
different.
to poach.
No poaching.
Okay.
No poaching.
Okay.
But we're gonna have a great team, and I'm really, really excited. And I've made a few phone calls for people that I haven't talked to in a little bit. I think that are super talented, and especially different scouts and recruiters that are going to help us develop this, next level of talent.
And what is the name of this promotion? Shall we break this here today?
No, we're still.
Why?
Well, we're still in the final stages of the.
Is there a name identified?
There has been a name identified, yes, but I can't say.
Is the word strike in the name?
No.
Okay, so that's just like what the parent company?
Yeah, that's the parent company.
Strike MMA is in the emails.
Yeah, Strike is. It's a. I think it's the. It's the C Corp out of Delaware.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It was. I mean,
I loved
nod
it.
to the past.
I loved it.
Why
man.
not go with Strike MMA?
No, I mean, I think the name is owned by someone else. So
No, Strike Force is owned. You can't do. Is that too close?
I think they was deemed as a little bit too close, only because I'm the founder of it, and then we sold it, and so.
Did you look into it?
No, guys, I already knew it would be an
Okay.
issue. So
Any of your old San Jose Sharks partners? Any of those guys going to be a part of this?
not right now. No, they are focusing on hockey, and
You hate those guys deep down inside?
Who?
Yeah, because they sold the company. They took the rug underneath you. Come on, those guys.
You know what?
I never forget that day.
I'll be honest with you. This is something we should talk about over
Okay.
lunch or something. But actually, based on the circumstances that were in front of us, they made a business decision that they came to me with, and I had to agree, and I had to sign at the end of the day. So it was probably a very tough decision. It was probably,
imagine.
honestly, Ariel, it was probably one of the worst days of my life. Honestly,
Really?
I was very depressed for a long time.
I can imagine.
But there were some circumstances with our broadcast partner at the time, and and different executives, and that were giving us, I think, a little bit of a hard time. And so it's like they didn't feel the support that they needed to get, and so they said, well, if you're not going to get the support from the broadcaster, then why are we doing this? Because they put a lot of money into it, and we had a great brand, and they thought that was the best thing to do at that time.
I'll never forget February 2011, East Rutherford, Meadowlands.
Yeah.
Night one of the Grand Prix. I'm in the back running around doing interviews for AOL Fan House, and all of a sudden I see Scott Coker wearing a trench coat all the way to the back of the arena, standing there and looking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't you sitting there? What's going? Like, why aren't you sitting cage side?
Yeah.
And then come to find out, like, you kind of knew the end was near.
Well, that's like, if you know my style for, let's say, Strikeforce, all the fights, I literally would be in the back with Javier Mendez, who would sit there when we'd be watching the fights on the TV as the main event's going on. Then I would just go out and present the belt. I didn't feel like I had to be cage side, So that's really been kind of my MO, right? Was just be back there and watch it with the fighters and just hang out and be part of that backroom experience, and felt very comfortable there.
To me, it felt like you were taking stock of it all. What you built?
I'll never forget that night, though, because I knew.
You knew, right?
I knew. Yeah, I already knew at that time.
And you were sad.
I was very sad, yeah. You're probably looking at me and saying that you should be celebrating this, right?
100%, because I remember that show did over $1 million, I believe, on Showtime.
Did great.
Fedor was there.
Yes.
You had,
not a good fight for Fedor, by the way.
Wasn't a good fight for Fedor, but John Vellante, everyone thought he would be the guy. Ends up being Chris Weidman, but there was so much excitement surrounding that, and you did have a sadness.
Yeah.
And the following month,
Yep.
mid-March, we find out.
Yeah, it was a tough one, Ariel. That was a real tough one for me because, I love, that was like my baby, that was like something I grew from nothing, Strikeforce was a kickboxing league before it became an MMA league.
Of course.
But, when California legalized it, I went in and applied for the first license. Armando Garcia at that time was
haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Yeah. March 2006.
2006, and so March 10th, I think, or
March 10th. Yeah,
and so that fight happened, and that changed my trajectory from a kickboxing to a MMA fight league, because I said, if MMA never came to California, I probably would have never promoted the first fight, right? But it came here, so I said, okay, I already had a license for 22 years, right? So I told Armando, you have to give it to me. You can't give it to anybody else, including the UFC, because they don't even have a license here. I've been licensed all these years. So he said, I think he felt the pressure from the arena, and then like the governor or whatever. I'm sure they make calls, and so he got. I'm sure he got a call saying, hey, you got to do this. So they gave it to us, and we did that first fight, which was an amazing success. I think we held the North American indoor record for a long time. We had 18,265 in the building. And it was amazing. It was like, look, the fights weren't that great, right? Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, but you always knew how to cater to the local market. You did it better than anyone.
Yep.
I'll never forget being at a Friday night show. Bobby Southworth versus Babalu Sobral was the main event.
Yes.
It was on HDNet. I was there. It was 2008. And the fight's over, and the HDNet broadcast ends, and all of a sudden, two kickboxers from the Bay Area. One was 1-0, the other one was 0-1. They had a kickboxing career, but in MMA, they had only fought each other, and I had no idea who they were, and the place goes insane. I'm like, that's why this place is full. You always knew those local rivalries. Baroni Shamrock was amazing, how they used the internet. This is what we're missing. We're missing this magic.
Yeah, well, we're going to bring it back. Because, think about this. Like, my relationships around the world are better than ever before, And if you remember back in 2006, Shamrock fights Caesar, and then Kung fights, and we're starting to build the next stars, like the younger kids and Gilbert Melendez fights, and Josh Thompson fights.
Josh Thompson, yeah.
And so we have this great, series of fights there. And then the second fight, I'm like, Frank's hurt. He's banged up. Okay, who's my main event? The day after the fight's over, the arena calls me and says, hey, we want to do another one in June. 3 months. I said, I want to take a year off. I need about a year off. You guys are taking it out of me, right? And I said, and they go, no, we want to do it, because I'm sure the F&B was off the charts. They ran out of beer that night, right? So I'm sure they made a ton of money, which they didn't give me any of it, by the way.
Yeah.
But I needed a main event, so I called Saki Ibarra, and I said, I need a favor. I need a main event, and I went because I don't speak Japanese, but I went through Kenny Mai. He was like my boss at K1 for a while. He called Saki Ibarra. He's managing Mirko Cro Cup.
Okay, yes.
And so Saki Ibarra sends Alistair Overeem to fight Vitor Belfort.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And so that was the second fight of Strikeforce MMA at San Jose.
I remember watching that on Sherdog, actually.
Yeah, and it was, I think after a while, I don't think it was like a dynamic fight that people thought it was going to be. A lot of them on the back and scooting. But at the end of the day, I'm like, this is pretty cool, man. I could reach out to Saki Ibarra. Then now the relationships all over the world we have with multiple promoters in multiple regions, and when we took Bellator around the world, those relationships just grew. And to go to Hungary, to go to Ireland, to go to England, to go to Russia, that was amazing. That was an amazing trip, honestly. To go to Japan and do fights, and do the challenge fights with Saki Kibara, to do fights in Tel Aviv was amazing, right? It's like it really was amazing to see the reception, because they're so happy that like a main USA company that does MMA comes to their territory and brings it to where they're at.
So you'll be doing that for this new promotion as well, not just USA.
That's right.
All over the world.
All over the world.
What about Saki Kibara, by the way,
that's
right?
that's going to be global. It's going to be a global league.
Ryzen's killing it.
Ryzen is doing amazing. And you know what? When he started in 2016, I believe, 2016, I think he started he was on a 7-year non-compete.
Okay.
Think about that.
Wow.
7 years. So he gets the ability to come back. And I said to him, okay, you brought me some great fighters in the past, so I'm going to reciprocate, because we sent King Mo there for the tournament. Then we started sending as many fighters as I could, because I always felt that Japanese MMA needed to be healthy for whatever reason. I've just felt like I've seen so many great fights that the golden era of fighting really was I'd say 1997 when Pride started. K1 was already in business. 1997 to 2000 and let's say 7 when they sold Pride. That's a golden era of fighting to me, right? That era was unbelievable, because you have these two rival companies, Pride and K1, going at it. And it just elevated the brand and combat sports to the point where they could sell out 90,000 seats for that one Dynamite show.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So to me, I think that's what they shook it up a little bit, And after Pride sold, I think Japanese MMA kind of people got depressed until Saki Kibara come back. So I felt the need to help him, and I said I helped him for like 3-4 years. We got him his show broadcast on Spike TV. I asked Kevin to if he could do him a favor, and so I really tried to help him, and then it led to the fights we did with him on New Year's Eve 3-4 years ago, which. Unbelievable. I mean, when you're there, you've been there. It's just like
I've been there, but never for a New Year's Eve show. I'd love to go. That's a bucket list one.
It
for
is
me.
honestly, it is like nothing like it. Because, I was promoting small fights way back, kickboxing days on ESPN, right? And we had great fighters. And Mr. Ishii from K1 says, "You got to come to Japan." And I said, "Okay." So I fly to Japan, and I was in Osaka at the Osaka Dome in '98. And this is when K1 was doing 6 cities, all, 60, 70,000 seat stadiums, packing it to the rafters. But I'll never forget that feeling, like walking through the tunnel and then looking up, and I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. It just shocked me. I had goosebumps, seriously, I had goosebumps, like, oh my God. And Mr. Ishii comes in, he was very, very nice and very respectful, and we had a nice conversation. And, it was just a hello kind of, he wanted me to see his show, right? And so he asked me again 2 years later to help him in Vegas. So that's when I started the K1 relationship with him. But Ariel, there's nothing like walking through that tunnel and then looking up and going, oh my God, this is like unbelievable. And then the production was unlike anybody's business, like you've seen it on TV,
of course,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's just way over the top, and I just fell in love with Japanese MMA and the way they do it. And you'll see a lot of that in what we're going to do.
We've missed that too, the pomp and circumstance. Please, no uniforms.
No uniforms.
Oh, gosh, the uniforms kill me. We need characters. We need individuality, right? We need people to stick out. We want them to look different, right?
And I think that's always been our MO, right?
Yeah.
It's been, having them be characters.
Sure.
Right? I always love, like, even in pro wrestling, when the music comes out, you already know who's coming out,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It's like it's so branded. They did such a good job. But to me, that's really what I think we've been good at, is building the next character, building the next guy, and building the next star. And I think that being away from the sport, has I think that's what's missing a little bit, is that there is no, like, who's the next generation right now? I can't answer that for you, because I've been looking around kind of since I've been coming back, been kind of checking it out, but I really don't know, like, who you could say is, keep your eye on this kid, keep your eye on this kid, keep your eye on that kid. But we're going to go build that next kid. So,
It's interesting that your news came out around the exact same time as the MVP event on Netflix. What did you think of it?
I love the production, and to me, I think it's all good. It's a net positive because, when I think about MVP, and I know Nikisa. In fact, when I was at Showtime and they're doing boxing on Showtime, I helped put them together with their VIP sales company, which is a company called Elevate.
Okay.
Owned by the San Francisco 49ers. So, when he reaches out, I try to help him, and it's been a good relationship. And I always ask myself this question, including our new company. It's like, look, is this going to be good for MMA or is it going to be bad for MMA? Is it good for the business or is it bad for the business? And I'd say MVP is good for the business, right? Once again, you're pouring tens of millions of dollars into the fighter community and giving employing all these people, and the fights. I mean, the main event fight didn't last too long, right? Which I would love to see a longer fight, but Ronda's that good.
Yeah.
She's still that good. I mean, that was amazing to see her. It was masterful to see what she did, and I love Gina. So it was like a who's going to win. And I was telling my friends, who's going to win, the striker or the grappler? And I said, I don't know, but we're all going to watch, right? That's how I felt. Like, let's just watch and support it. So to me, it's good for business. Our new league will be good for business.
More competition, the better.
Yeah, and is it really competition? Because what they do is not what we're going to do.
Sure.
Right?
I just mean the more places for the fighters, the more opportunities, the more options. Pro wrestling has several options. I always compare the two. There's AEW,
Yeah.
Tony Khan, if you know. There's Japan. Yeah. We don't have that here.
Yeah.
We don't have these places. And so it's always been the UFC. PFL became the de facto number 2 when they bought Bellator. And I'm wondering, how do you think they're doing? How do you feel like PFL is doing now?
I tell you, I don't really know because I don't, when I talk to like Mike or other people that work there, so we don't talk business, we talk about family.
But based on what you see, well, how do you feel about the product?
I really just haven't watched it, I just haven't watched it.
Do you think you should watch it?
Maybe, well, we'll see. Because here's been my philosophy, Ariel. It's like, I could watch it, I could watch UFC, but at the end of the day, we're going to go do what we do.
Sure.
Right? I always focus at the goal in hand, which is what we're going to do, right? So I know, I have a game plan for how we're going to execute. And honestly, like, think about this. When you think about the past, like a couple of decades, our body of work has been, I think, very impressive, right? And I'm not one to brag or whatever, but I think that we're just very good at what we do, and I've been doing it so long. And other people have tried to, when the other guys were trying to come kill us,
Sure.
It's like we fought the best of the best, and so to me, it's like people that, want to throw rocks or whatever, or I just kind of
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get you to throw rocks, but I was just curious. You've been in the game, other than Dana, as far as MMA, it's you and him that have been here the longest now.
Yeah, it's Saki Ibarra.
Right. I was talking North America.
Okay,
yes,
yes.
100%. Yes, 100%. And so your take on the landscape is very interesting to me on where we're at right now.
Yeah, I definitely think there needs to be a competitor.
100%.
Because otherwise, the company. But let's face it, like PFL, they went through recent changes. It sounds like he's a very successful businessman. John Martin seems like a nice guy. I listened to his interview here, and seemed like a very good businessman. And so I hope they can turn it around. And Chachu's out there doing his thing. So, but to me, it's like I'm going to go do my thing, and we're going to go do it the way we like to do it, and that's really what I'm going to focus on.
You did mention in the press release the 60 million.
Yep.
That number. What does that number even mean, really? Because
well, here's the thing. I'll tell you a little story. So we wrote a business plan, and we have all the financials, and we said, okay, this is what we need to operate, right?
For how long? How long does that last?
We have. It's going to last at least 5 years.
Really?
Right? Yeah, because
60 million.
Yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to make money. I mean, what's wrong with making money?
Sure. I just didn't. Yeah. I've seen companies blow through 60 million rather quickly.
You know what it is, and this is what I attest that to. There's a learning curve in this business. And if you don't know it, you're going to be paying crazy money out because you don't know it. And you know what? I've been in the business almost 4 decades or over 4 decades now. I know this business, right? So to me, like I said, they're going to the learning curve. They're learning the business. I'm sure they're putting out fires everywhere, like in different companies, and because they're burning through so much cash, right? But I'll be honest with you. We had, we closed the deal. All the money came into the account, and we were like, okay. Then we had 2 more offers come in, right? This is a true story, and we got another offer for $20 million, one for 10, 2 for 5. They wanted to come in. So we could have raised $100 million just like that. But we said, no, I don't want it. I told
Why?
Peter, because then I don't want to be diluted to where I don't control the company. This is going to be my company the way I want to run it, you know? And yeah, we have board of directors and we have some smart people and investors. Honestly, this investment group is very, very, very impressive. And so on the cap table. And some have a policy where they don't reveal who they are.
Okay.
Some do. But the people that are involved, I'm telling you, are very, very strong and very connected to many different things, to the entertainment world, to the finance world, to, you know. So we went out there in the community. And so when the money got offered after we closed, I said, no, I go, Peter, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be in a situation where, you know, I'm going to be losing control of this company because I don't ever want that to happen. So we turned them away. We turned away that $40 million.
Wow.
And when we went to raise money, what was amazing to me was we started raising money in November. By March, we were closed. Like we were like commitments,
Wow.
right? Took time to get all the legal work in and all the, you know, people to send everything in. But we were closed. We had that commitment for $60 million in 3 months.
Okay.
So I think people...
Was that what you were shooting for, 60? Like,
Yes.
was it always... And,
No, that's in the plan. That's what it.
Okay, why that number? How do you like get to that number?
You know, that's something we should have Lawrence on here. He could explain the whole thing to you.
all right,
Because
okay. I'm
the smart
fascinated
guys and
by
the
all
numbers,
this.
you know.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, but let me tell you, I've learned so much about, you know, because I knew with this, like, look, you're not going to be in the fight business and not be in the private equity venture home office business because you can't. You can't just, you know, compete with other companies that have hundreds of millions of dollars, right? It's not like you could just, you know. But when we laid the plan out, we said, this is what we need. And so that's what we went to market with, you know. And, you know, the extra cushion would have been great, but I don't want to lose control of the company. But I will say that, you know, a lot of our investors, you know, we'll just go out and execute. And then if we want to start, you know, getting aggressive and maybe getting a bit, you know, like growing the company faster or buying other companies, we'll go back to them and say, hey, here's opportunity. And they're going to be all ears because, you know, we have really good relationships with these other investment groups.
I would imagine since this came out, you've gotten calls and texts from all over.
Yes.
It's probably been pretty amazing, right?
A lot. I have a lot of old friends that return into my life. you
Yeah.
know? So no, you know, look, it's great because a lot of people are really excited. A lot of people are
Anyone
happy.
surprise you? Anyone? You don't have to say his name, but like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, but mostly it's, you know, people that we've had relationships over the years
Okay.
that are congratulating us and saying, great job, like the sport needs it right now, and go, you know, like basically go kick ass. So that's been most of it. Congratulations
Yeah.
and, you know, good luck. But there's a lot of people out there that have come in, hey, if I can help, if you need this and that. And, you know, we're open for business.
Ring or cage?
I don't want to say it.
Why so many secrets?
This is top secret stuff, man.
Well, at the end, I mean, I know you liked the ring, but Strikeforce was a cage.
Yeah, but Strikeforce was supposed to be a ring, you know.
Was it?
Yes. You want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, the MMA becomes legal in California,
Yeah.
and I go get the license. So now I have the first fight, March of '06, and I remember sitting there talking to Frank, going, "Okay, it's going to be in a ring, Frank, just like Japan. We're going to do 5 ropes and whatever, you know." Like, okay,
Yeah.
great. Caesar, great. Kong, great. And then Armando Garcia goes, "Oh, you can't do it in a ring." I said, "What?" He goes, "Why?" He said, "Because it's not passed by the athletic commission yet." I said, "Hold on, are you saying that I could put people in a cage and fight, but I can't put them in a ring?" He said, "That's exactly what I'm saying."
Wow.
If you want to wait, the ring will probably be approved in a year, but that means the other guys are going to get in front of you. I said, "Oh no, then we got to go with the cage because I didn't want to wait." Yeah.
So if he would have said yes,
Oh, it'd have been a ring sport for sure.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I was already on the way because you know I kind of grew up in the
sure,
Japanese.
I know.
you
Yeah.
So
So once it got approved, why didn't you go back to the ring?
it was too late.
You felt it was too
I
late.
felt it was too late. And the other part of that story was, Armando, Gina Carano's going to fight.
Yeah.
Oh no, women can't fight yet.
Really?
What? I said, what are you talking about? I said, you know, she can't fight yet. She's been kickboxing. She's a martial artist. Like, you know, this is, you know, I've always felt that, you know, female fights is something that's necessary, and it's, you know, they're training in the martial arts schools, the jiu-jitsu schools, kickboxing, Muay Thai schools a lot. Why can't they compete? You know, so
How'd you get around that one?
I had to wait a year. Oh, that's why Gina wasn't in the first show.
Oh, wow.
So she had to fight in the fall, I believe it was. But so
Was it against Elena Maxwell? Was that the fight?
That's the very first fight in the state of California,
yeah.
female. But good knowledge.
How about that, Scott? How about that?
but here's the thing, right, Ariel. So we said, okay, Gina's going to fight in the fight, like in November, December, whatever it was. Might have been the following year. I can't remember exactly. But you can only do 3-minute rounds.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go 5-minute rounds for a title fight. I said, what? The very first female fight, and we were petitioning hard the whole time for female fights, and we were petitioning hard to get to 5-minute rounds. And Armando Garcia was just tough to deal with, and he was just like, he was just, once he had his mindset, it was like, he was just tough to deal with. So anyway, the very first fight where we had 5-minute rounds was Chrono Cyborg.
Of course.
But it was from 06 to 09.
Yeah.
Think about that, to get that approved.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's I think we did a lot of good work, early on in the sport.
Did.
Yeah.
I mean, the legacy of Strikeforce, till this day, people get, to me, it's UFC, Pride, Strikeforce. Those are the three that meant something to fans.
And those are the building blocks of modern day MMA, I think, because how many champions came out of Strikeforce? I mean, it was just name after name after name after name. So, and I tell you,
women in this organization?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Will you have every division?
That we're still working on that. I'm going to talk to Rich about that.
The first tournament, do you know the weight class?
I do, but I can't tell you.
Okay,
it's top secret.
And
I'll tell you what,
8-man?
we will have a we have a reveal. We'll reveal everything, and I think we're going to do it. I don't know, in the next month or so.
Wow, that's soon.
Maybe a couple months.
Okay.
Maybe 3 months. but it'll be done. I think we're going to do it here in New York. So maybe we just do it right here in the studio.
Let's do it here.
What do you
broadcast to the world? What do you think?
Here? All right. Chris said it's fine.
Wow, this is it. That's all it took. By the way, you know me, I got my nose to the ground. I knew about this months and months ago. Didn't say a word. I felt some sort of way that I didn't break the news, to be honest. I was like, Scott forgot about me.
Thank you for holding out.
Yeah, you talked about leaks. I mean, maybe you knew I was hot on the trail.
There's been chatter, there's been a little chatter going on. I said, we got to break it now, because if we don't, then somebody's going to beat us to it. And then we should control the narrative, because, we're going to do, it's going to be a great, great opportunity for the fans, for the fighters, for myself. And we're going to do this right.
What about your son? Is he back, Jordan?
Yeah, he's going to give us a hand. And,
okay.
We're putting the old band back together. But now we have Tom Fox, our COO. He is a former Gatorade Nike marketing executive. And he also was chief revenue officer of Arsenal.
Wow.
Ran the San Jose Earthquakes for 2 years as president and CEO. So, he's in place there for do all the nuts and bolts, and a great marketer, and great, he's amazing. Like, I've learned so much from him just hanging out with him for the last 6 months.
Wow.
Rich, we all know Rich. We all love Rich.
Love
He's
Rich.
amazing. And then, but we have Lawrence now. He's going to run our international sales and our business development team. And Kevin Kay, right? CCO. I mean, that's, chief
content officer. What has he been doing, by the way?
I think he's been working on some other shows and this and that. But really, it's like.
Is he all in with you 100%?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge guy. This is the president of Spike TV.
Yeah. And you know what?
In its heyday.
And what was crazy was when I sat down with him, I said, Kevin, I came to Bellator for you. Right? I gave him the reverse psychology. I said, Kevin, actually, Peter was bugging me about going with him to start this new company before I went to Bellator.
Oh, wow.
So
that long ago.
When I had the 3-year non-compete with UFC, he approached me and said, hey, let's when you're non-competes, let's open a new company, and I want to be a part of it. I want to help you raise money. And then when I met Kevin, I was like, oh, I really like this dude, man. Like, I loved his energy. I loved his passion for, mixed martial arts. And we met at a restaurant after my non-compete was over. We probably sat there for 6 hours.
Wow.
And just talked about everything, the history. But anyway, it was definitely a bro fest, right? And so I'm like, I'm in, man. So I told Peter, hey, sorry. He probably didn't talk to me for 3 months, actually, my friend Peter, because he was like, he's thinking we're going to do this. So, but anyway, my pitch to Kevin was, I said, Kevin, I know you're busy. You got stuff you're doing, but I really need you. Like, you're going to be a great member of this team. And we're building the next Avengers team. This is going to be the next Avengers. And I need you to be on with us. We're going to have proper funding, and I want to do it right, and I want to do it right from the get-go. So he said, okay, let me think about it. About 3 weeks later, he said, okay, I'm in. So that's how it went. And to have a person of that experience, I was just like, man, I'm so lucky. So feel very, very, very fortunate. And Peter is a guy that, Peter's like he would love all this, like all the toys and everything. He loved, like he had a little magazine or a publication online publication called The Nerdist.
Okay.
That was his publication.
Yeah, wow,
right?
I didn't know that.
Marvel toys.
Yeah, I know of it. I didn't know he
Yeah.
was connected to it.
He was the founder, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so he owned it with a bunch of LA, Nerdists, and then they sold it eventually. But to see where he went in his career, kind of, our paths crossed early on, and he was also like when Strike, he was actually a shareholder in Strikeforce too. So we were always connected. He helped me kind of navigate LA a little bit because I didn't know. Like I was just a promoter from San Jose, so it helped me kind of build like a little bit of a team in LA for sponsorship sales. Introduced me to Casey Wassman's company, where I met Tom Fox back in 2007.
Wow, this is all coming together.
Yeah, and so I go, this guy is going to be good. Like for us, I go, if we could afford this guy one day, I was saying that in the Strikeforce, if we could afford him one day, then I would definitely hire him. But now we're back, kind of full circle with him, and so the team is amazing, and I'm
This
really
is probably
excited.
the best team you've ever had, right?
The best, seriously, because we always had great. Like the fight side was always covered, right? But the business side really was always like, Strikeforce had 5 people that worked here.
Wow.
I mean, really, it was like 5 people, and I learned a lot in that phase of my life, and then in Bellator I learned a lot too. And part of the Bellator thing was like Kevin really, like when he left Spike, then it was never the same. Wade Davis helped a lot, and he was great. He loved MMA, and but once Kevin left, honestly, I think the spirit of the company, came down a little bit. So to me, and because when you have a boss or a president of a network that's so passionate about MMA, I mean, people might have forgotten, but he greenlit Ultimate Fighter.
Of course, yeah.
And
05.
he was the one that changed the trajectory of the sport. I mean, he's a historian. He's in the history books of this sport.
Sure.
So anyway, when he left, I think in 2000 and was it 17, 18, something like that, then it was like, okay, we're on our own kind of, and we have to go fight the battles. And listen, I learned a lot, and I was like, this is a very big media company, and you could get sucked into this little vortex and get circled around if you're not careful, and you gotta kind of know how to navigate. Kevin, I didn't have to do that, right? I said, Kevin, I asked him one time, I said, Kevin, what, how does this work? Like, because I was always an entrepreneur, so how much do I report to you, or how much autonomy do I have? I go, what? He goes, you do your thing, and my job is to keep the parent company away from you.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah. So it worked until it didn't work, so. But to have him back full circle, I said, come on, Kevin, you got to come help us. We're going to build something great. And when he saw the, let's say, the team that we're going to put together, and then the investment group that we're putting together, he knew it was real. And he said, okay, I'm on board, so let's go. And so I feel very fortunate, feel very blessed to have such a strong partner with him and the others. It's going to be an amazing team.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
This is great. I'm really, really happy for you. I'm happy to see the team that you've assembled. So many great people who sort of, went down their own little path. The sport has missed you. We've missed your imagination, your creativity, and I'm a big proponent. I'm not rooting against anyone. I'm not rooting against
Me neither.
any promotion. I just want to see more options. It's good. You can't eat the same thing every night, right?
Yeah,
and
I
think this
agree.
is very healthy for the sport. It's
Yeah.
something the sport has missed over the last, 3-4 years.
Yeah, thank you. And I feel refreshed, and I feel ready to go. So we're going to go get it on.
Amazing. All right. Well, I can't wait for you to break all that news on this program.
Yes,
Thank you.
we'll be
Thank you for
back.
that, guys. Appreciate it. We'll take a quick break. He is back. Scott Coker is back. The whole team is back. Coming up in a matter of moments, Omari Jones, Oshaki Foster as well. Don't go anywhere. Much more to come.
UFC 329. Tickets went on sale for the Fight Club members. So if you pay, I believe it's $99 a year at this point, you join the UFC Fight Club. They send you a T-shirt. You get early access to tickets, everything like that. I've actually been a part of it before, have used it to purchase tickets. It is helpful. And
You get access to the pre-sale. That's before the pre-sale. So there's
Correct.
a pre-sale period. You get access even before that, which is a good perk for not a lot of money. That's a decent little thing for them to have.
Yeah, and they send you a T-shirt and like a couple other things. Like it's really not a bad deal, and it's not a bad deal for instances like this where tickets are going to sell out fast for guys like Conor McGregor. I'm sure the Sphere went quick, things like that. But man, a major point of discussion with this was just how expensive these ticket prices were. Obviously, a lot of these are now hitting the resale market as well, and they're going to do the whole public sale. But the tier list someone put out, and I've seen a few. This is from Tickets Help 1, Ticket_Help 2022. UFC 329 ticket prices, the return of Conor McGregor. Highest listed price for front row, $43,050.
Wow.
Cheapest floor, $4,110. Cheapest lowers, $1,226. Cheapest uppers, $622.
Yeah, $622 to get in the door.
$622 to get in the door is insane, and people are willing to pay it. I know that this was just the pre-sale. This isn't the full 20,000 at T-Mobile or anything yet, but they sold out like that.
There's no doubt in my mind that this upcoming pre-sale that I believe starts sometime this afternoon is going to sell out. There is no doubt that once they release the full tickets that this event is going to sell out. Conor McGregor, we can continue to talk about Conor McGregor, and there will be some people who will say, is he still that guy? Is he still relevant? We get signs like this, right? We're not going to have a pay-per-view number, so that's not going to be a metric that we're able to use anymore. But we get signs like this every so often where it's like the tickets for a Conor McGregor fight go on sale, and it reminds you once again that he is different than everybody else in this sport when it comes to marketing, his drawing power, his ability to get people to want to commit to watching his fights.
The all-time highest grossing live gate at T-Mobile Arena is $55.4 million for the Floyd Mayweather-Conor McGregor fight back in 2017.
It definitely won't touch that.
That is fucking
That's an insane number. Yeah.
Habib Conor did 17.1.
I think it will beat that.
I think it'll beat that. I think it'll go over 20 million.
I agree.
Because if you look at it, we went on Game Time. Shout out to Game Time. They're obviously on resale and everything like that.
By the way, use BITB if you ever use Game Time.
You're going to need the code BITB if you're going to UFC 329. Cheapest ticket on here is still over $1,000. $1,217 on resale.
Yeah. And this is not the full scope, right? Soon we're going to have people buying for pre-sale today, people putting it on the secondary market, and then general public tickets, people buying those, putting it on the secondary market. This is going to be a fascinating thing to kind of track and a reminder again of what Conor McGregor brings to the UFC business and the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think these ticket prices are going to come down that much.
No.
We've seen the World Cup tickets, and there's such a runway leading into that, and I think there's sort of we haven't had the World Cup in the U.S. in all these years, and blah blah blah. I think those tickets are going to drop down as we get closer to the event. For Conor McGregor, I don't think they're going to go down. He actually reacted to someone saying that there was only one singular seat left on Ticketmaster, which I think has now been purchased up. It's completely sold out, and he just quote tweeted with a laughing emoji.
Yeah, and he's not unaware. I saw him also retweet something somebody posted about just as a reminder who Conor McGregor is, here's all the pay-per-views of his last couple fights and how big box office he is, and there's no doubt about it. Intern Josh, in real time, Frank, hit the breaking news. Intern Josh, who by the way will be coming to the studio starting soon. Shout out to Intern Josh. Can't wait to see him. He's in line for the UFC 320. Have you seen the Slack yet or not?
I have just seen it.
I was going to make you guess. But he's in line for the UFC 329 presale. 120,000 people in the queue ahead of him. Who knows how many total people are in the queue, because he might be somewhere in the middle. Maybe he's toward the end. Even if the smallest number was 120,000 people, it's absolutely insane. It tells you that the demand for this is astronomical. And because of the limited nature of it, because of the fact that, quite frankly, we will probably get two more Conor McGregor UFC fights. We might only get one more. Who knows how this goes? If this is the last time, there's a huge scarcity around Conor McGregor in the UFC. There's a huge scarcity of opportunities that you're going to have to see this guy fight, considering how long ago the last time that he fought was and how long the time before that was. The number of times that Conor McGregor is going to be headlining a card is unknown and scarce. And so, as you said, I don't think you're going to see ticket prices going down. I think you're going to see more likely completely sold out primary market, completely sold out direct from the vendors, and then a huge secondary market that probably starts to get snatched up pretty quickly as well. So massive.
Okay, to your point about McGregor and the scarcity and the pay-per-view buys and everything, he has the top 5 UFC pay-per-view buys of all time, and then 8 of the top 10.
Because he has the 2 boxing, yeah.
Well, I'm saying 8 of the top 10 UFC pay-per-views. The other 2 is Usman Masvidal, which took place at like peak COVID. There really wasn't much else for people to do. And then UFC 100 in that top 10 as well. Everything else is Conor McGregor is on the card. Our guy Josh said he was 100 what? 20?
120. There's 120,000 people ahead of him.
Which obviously makes it impossible for you to be able to get tickets because
unless somebody gets there and does not buy them, you will.
T-Mobile Arena, you would need 100,000 people to
say no,
to not buy them. I know you're paying. U.S. Open tickets, a great tournament that takes place here in
a lot of fun.
City. Love it. Love going to it. Have been the last like 5 or 6 years. Tickets went on sale today. They went on sale at noon. As the clock went from 11:59:59 to noon,
12:00.
I got on. I have the screenshot to verify. Got on Ticketmaster. You are now in the queue. 336,309. Sat around for 5 to 10 minutes just seeing what happened, and it lowered down maybe like 200 spots.
Of those people who are just buying tickets and you'll never even sniff it.
Could never even dude, it's just Arthur Ashe holds 25,000 people.
Yeah, those are gone.
It's just like we're getting to a point where it isn't just Conor McGregor. Like we always talk about like UFC is rising, everything like that. Conor McGregor is going to be the premier event for the UFC that you're going to be able to buy tickets to this summer. Obviously, the White House is the premier event, but like people aren't going to be able to go to that. It's across all tickets. Like it is just getting insane. We have a couple of other ticket maps here. The New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals, which is just an insane amount. I mean, I'm seeing some 20,000, some 37,000, 41,000. Cheapest ticket on Game Time right now, NBA Finals, Madison Square Garden, 3,256, if I'm reading that right.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, Ryan, shout out Ryan, just plopped down $5K to get tickets.
$5K?
Yeah, $5K.
Per ticket?
He's going solo. He's flying in for it.
Holy shit.
But he just plopped down $5K. Yeah. It's crazy. It is nuts.
Yo, $5,000.
Yep.
It's not just sports. Ariana Grande is performing at Barclays Center, which is the cheaper. Like, this isn't even MSG. Cheapest ticket I see up there is $735, and that does not look like a good seat. That looks like you're borderline sitting behind the stage.
Yeah, that's a horrible seat.
So I guess if like ticket prices are just like this across all events these days, I'm going to the World Cup at the end of June. It's $900 per ticket.
Yeah.
It's just like, is it
We've
worth
accepted
it if you
a reality.
want to go see Conor McGregor? Like, do you just have to accept the reality that like you have to take a fucking loan out to see your favorite artists and athletes?
But this is why it's so expensive, is because people are willing to pay it. As soon as you stop paying,
you're right.
You'll just keep going up.
You're right, because like everyone I'm seeing online is just like, I can't believe it's this expensive. We're never going to be able to go to these
Sold
events.
out in
My
seconds.
sport is so cooked.
They're gone.
The second it goes on. Josh is 120,000th in line for a 20,000 seat arena.
Yeah. It made me think of two things. One is the point Frank just raised, which is if we are all complaining about
The boys speaking to my soul there as I'm trying to navigate. Coker asked me as he left, "You going to any of the games?" I'm like, yeah. I'm just going to take out a third mortgage and we'll be all right. Nah, but I got to go. I think I've settled on games 3 and 6 if necessary. 3 guaranteed. 4, my daughter has a thing at her school and I don't want to let her down. I had to miss another thing when I was in LA for the Netflix card on that Friday. So I feel like 3 and 6 are my games. I really do want to go to every single home game, and I did want to go to San Antonio, but I feel like I'm good with that. That first game at MSG is going to hit. That first game and all the little stuff like the trophy on the court and the little thingy here, the little patch here, a little patch here, a little patch here. I can't wait. Great stuff with Scott Coker. Appreciate him coming in. Very exciting to see him back. All of a sudden, business picking up in the world of MMA, and I think this is great for everyone. We move along now. We've got a couple of great interviews coming up. 2 amazing, talented young studs, one in particular, up next on the program from the world of boxing. Our first guest from that particular world is, I do believe, ready to go. And so let us say hello for the very first time, 23 years young, bronze medalist at the 2024 Summer Olympics, obviously in Paris. Now 7-0, 4 knockouts, a guy that the good people over at Matchroom Boxing are very, very excited about. He represents Orlando, and I'll be honest, obviously I was in Paris for the Olympics and knew about what he did. But really, as a pro, what has caught my eye is his sense of style. The Orlando Magic shorts, even what he wore this past weekend to the arena in the fight. I love what Omari Jones is all about and how he represents himself. And so for the first time, let us say hello to the youngster hailing from Orlando, Omari Jones, who's kind enough to join us right here and now. Hello, Omari. How are you, my man?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. It's great to have you on the show. Congratulations on all your success. And actually, those are the shorts right behind you. At least one of those shorts, right? The Orlando. Dude, the other side, the other way. Okay. Yeah. Your gear is some of the very best gear in the game, man. Those shorts are amazing. Who comes up with that? Is that all you?
Well, me and my team, we have a great plan. Me and my brand manager, Shaq, we go over the ideas. And I tell him what I want. He sometimes gives me some ideas, and we go based off of that. And from there, we make the magic happen.
The look this past weekend, though, was a little bit different. I like that look. It was almost like a floral look.
Yes, it was from an art piece from a black artist. She has a museum out in Miami, and it was an inspiration off of a book that we found in New York, and it was the inspiration for that. So we took it and we made it into an outfit, and that's where the magic happened.
I like it. Even as like you dress to the arena, you're always wearing nice suits. You come across as the ultimate pro. Is that something that you and your team came up with as you transitioned from an amateur to a pro, that you wanted to give off a certain type of image? Look at you here. You look like a number 1 draft pick quarterback going to play in a playoff game here. You look fantastic.
Well, it's really how I came up. I was in a program called Lambda Gamma Young Men's Club, and we would dress up every Tuesday for school. And the reason for that was just because, like, I feel like when you come in looking ready, you feel ready, you look good, and you go in there to take care of business, and that's what I go there to do. And I also look at some of the greats. I feel like Ali always dressed up, Michael Jordan always dressed up to the game. So I feel like if those greats did it, like, let me kind of take something from their blueprint and carry it onto my legacy as well.
So 7-0 now as a pro. Like I said, in the Olympic Games, had a great run there, and since have transitioned into the pro ranks with Matchroom. How do you feel about the state of your career? How things have progressed, where you're at right now as you kind of enter year 2 of your career?
Yeah, so I'm entering year 2 of my career. It feels great. When I talk with Eddie Hearn actually met me right after my last fight in the Olympics in Paris, and he was willing to sign me right then and there.
Wow!
And the game plan was to keep me busy, keep me active, have fights in Orlando, but also travel around, like go to Houston, go to Atlantic City, go to Dallas, and it's been a part of the plan. And I'm 3-0 in my second year as a professional, and we're only halfway through the year. So we're looking at another 2 more fights, and hopefully we'll be headlining in Orlando, Florida next year.
So your first 4 fights of 2025, all stoppages. The next 3, you've gone the distance. Does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all. Because if you look at the opponents, my last stoppage, the guy hasn't been stopped. He was 12-2. I was the first one to stop him. The opponent after that, which was the first one to go the distance, he was 7-0, and I was the first one to knock him down and take his undefeated record. The opponent after that, he was 23-6 with a 90% knockout ratio. And then my last opponent that I just fought, he's never been knocked down. I was the first one to knock him down, and he was 9-0. So I feel like if you're looking at the competition level that I'm facing only in my year 2 as a professional fighter, it's been amazing. And I mean, If you can name me another prospect that's taking on those kind of big challenges, undefeated fighters, fighting contenders. Yeah, and it just shows that Matchroom believes in me, and my team believes in me to take on these challenges like that. I'm super happy with everything.
To your point, your opponent that you beat this past weekend, Diego Zuniga, was 9-0 going into the fight, and we combined the records of all your pro opponents, 102, 32, and 3. And so that is a very impressive cumulative number. Historically, we've seen prospects like yourself fight guys who are 1-11, 2-10, things like that. So you deserve a lot of credit for that. I'm wondering about the meeting with Eddie. Did you just talk to Eddie? Was he the only one, or before you signed with him, did you talk to a bunch of different promoters?
I would say I looked around, and of course, like I said, Eddie was the first one I spoke to, and he was like, "Go look around, man. Talk with anybody that you feel is interested in you." And I went and did that. PBC and a couple other promotional companies that had sent me some offers. But when I looked at the plan and I looked at the contract, it was keeping me busy. It was keeping me active. And I feel like Matchroom is the place where everyone stays active. I mean, they're doing fights and shows every month. I mean,
more than that sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly. You have two this month with Bam and Boots Ennis. So it just shows how busy they are. And that was the plan, especially this early in my career.
That Boots card is going to be gigantic. No chance they turn you around and you fight on that one, right? That's a little too soon?
Yeah, that'll be too soon. I did ask about it if I wasn't on this past card, but I'd definitely be there. And I feel like that's going to be a great fight.
And so how many years or how many fights did you sign with Matchroom for?
I would say I have about 6 more fights left in the tank. So yeah, I definitely still be busy. Like I said, in year 2, we're in year 2 right now, and I have about like 2 more fights before the year ends.
We're starting to see a newer trend in boxing where I feel like younger fighters are taking risks earlier, where they're not like holding on to that, oh, back in the day it felt like you had to be like 25-0 or 30-0 before the career really started. And we're starting to see younger fighters. I mean, even Xander Zaya is fighting a guy like Boots Ennis next month, or later on this month, actually, now that we're in June, is not something that maybe you saw 10, 15 years ago. And so I'm wondering how long you think, you'll need as far as fights before you're swimming in the deep end. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking of a few more years, maybe 2 to 3 more years. Get through a couple more 8-rounders, get through a few more 10-rounders, and then I feel like I'll be ready to take on whoever they put in front of me. I mean, I can go either weight class, 147 or 154, and I make recently. I've been fighting at catch weights just because a lot of the guys can't make 147, so I'm very, very comfortable at 152, 150, and I don't think it'll be a problem to drop a few more pounds. So like I said, whenever the opportunity presents itself, until then, I'm going to keep learning and growing in the professional ranks. And when the title shot comes, I believe me and my team will be ready whenever God presents that to me.
Yes. By the way, speaking of Zayas and Boots, you were kind of caught in between some trash talk there. Where I believe, if I got this right, was it Zayas who said, just ask your training partner Boots, and then maybe Boots had something to say? And to be clear, here's you clearing it up. You've never sparred either of them?
No, I never sparred either of them. I think the confusion was brought to my attention today that I guess someone took a message the wrong way, that I was supposed to be in their camp, but I kind of told them, I said, that'd be a great idea. And I guess somebody tweeted that it'll be a great idea for Omari to be in Boots camp. And, a lot of people, they took it, they ran with it. But like I said, I never sparred Boots. Boots never called me to be a sparring partner. I never sparred Xander either.
Who do you like in that fight?
I'm going with Boots. I feel like the experience is going to play a major factor. And just Boots' combinations and skills overall, I feel like he's just the better fighter to me.
Do you think it's a little too soon for Zayas? Do you think like the fact that he's doing this is going to really be something that kind of bites him in the behind because he's not quite ready for someone like Boots?
Yeah, I believe so, but I feel like if it does happen like that, I don't think it'll be the end of Xander's career just because he's the same age as me. He's 23. He's taking on a big challenge, and I just feel like Boots overall is a better man. He's a monster at 154, and I don't think Xander is going to lay down either. Xander's definitely coming to fight, but like I said, if we're looking at the overall package of Boots, he just overall much better.
I see you repping the Venom brand over there, and that's one that's synonymous with MMA. Obviously, they have the deal with the UFC. You're sponsored by them, right?
Yes, I'm a signed athlete with Venom. They actually came to me after my last fight. They flew me out to New York, and we was able to get a deal done. And I'm just so happy with Venom, with the brand, with the gloves, the shoes. I mean, overall, it's just a great brand, and I'm blessed to be a partner with them.
To the best of my knowledge, they don't have a lot of boxers under their stable, right?
I don't think so. I think now they're kind of stepping into that rebranding situation right now. I know they have Carmel Moore and Tiger Johnson, a lot of young fighters, and I feel like that's a positive. Venom is willing to build with fighters. They want to build with who I'm going to become, and that's a world champion in the next coming years.
So you were born and raised in Orlando?
Yes, born and raised in Orlando, Florida. Started out with karate at 4 years old. 8 years old, I found my passion for boxing. And ever since then, the Olympics been my journey. And now I'm a professional now.
When you look back on your experience in the Olympics, do you look back with fondness or do you look back with some sort of, I don't know, sadness, regret that you didn't get that gold medal?
I look back with happiness to be able to look in the crowd and see my parents jumping with joy, to see me get to see me fulfill my dream, first of all, but also to see me medal and be on the podium and be in pictures with LeBron James and Stephen Curry. To be able to meet the president, that's any kid's dream, from especially Orlando, Florida, coming from where I come from, and to be able to do that and just make my last name, the last name Jones, last forever in the history books. Like, my name is on the Wall of Fame in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center, and that's implanted in history forever. So I'm just grateful to God that I was able to get the opportunity, and prayers work for sure.
We showed those photos of you, I believe, opening ceremony. You're in Paris, clearly. Which one of those interactions meant the most to you? Like, which one did you kind of geek out about the most? Which celebrity that you met there?
I'll say LeBron first, just because it's like, all right, like, I'm right in front of LeBron. Like, I was watching him in 2012 Olympics, and I would just point at the TV like, I'm going to get there. And then the next one I would say is Stephen Curry. I just learning from him, his generosity, and being able to take pictures with each and every person that came up to him. I mean, he had a line full of people just waiting on him. That's why a lot of times when a kid asks me for pictures, or it's a long line, or anybody want me to sign signatures, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to do it, because I'm like, Steph Curry is 100 times bigger than I am. And if he can wait in line or do certain things like that, then, it's no reason why I can't.
Who introduced you to boxing as an 8-year-old? Like, who's the one that led you down this path?
I would say my brothers and my mom and dad. They put me into karate first at 4, just for discipline. And my dojo happened to have boxing as well. So I found boxing at 8 years old, just because my dojo was in the same place. So right after karate, I changed into boxing. And I felt like I'm also a 2nd degree black belt in karate.
Wow.
But I knew, in Shotokan. But I knew once I turned 14, 15, and I hit high school, my dad would just kind of like, you got to choose one. No more track, no more basketball. Choose one. And I chose to lock in on boxing. I went to the Junior Olympics at 15. And at that moment, I was like, I can really make the Olympic dream happen for real. So I went on and got my spot on Team USA at 18. And now I'm able to show kids that they're able to make it happen as well. And now I'm started with the Omari Jones Foundation and inspiring kids through that.
What is that? Tell us about that.
The Omari Jones Foundation is building champions inside and outside the ring, being able to throw youth panels. Yeah, that's my website, OmariJonesFoundation.org. So being able to throw youth panels to give kids inspiration, throwing kids camps, like a boxer camp. So I have that coming up July 25th. And it's just to give kids that one-on-one action and to show them how to be successful, give them advice on how to make it to the Olympics, how to go about turning professional, life lessons that I've learned and the ups and downs that I had to go through, because it's not easy, getting to the Olympics or being on a professional stage. It's not easy at all. So I'm just letting them know that with hard work, dedication, staying consistent on the path, you're going to get there for sure.
Given your karate background, did you consider MMA?
Nah, I wasn't. I wasn't getting into MMA. I knew karate was great, but with karate, it was more so like a point system. So it was a point system. You had to counter. So whenever you score a point, they would stop the action, and the judges would raise the flag on who got the point. So that's a little bit different than taking somebody to the ground, choking them out, and stuff like that. I was just like, I'm gonna stick to the hands only.
That's fair. I do wonder, while you were doing both, the karate stance is a lot different than the boxing stance. Was that hard for you to, for your brain to, I don't know, maybe like at times do things that you were doing in karate that you shouldn't be doing in boxing, or vice versa? Was that tricky, and was that part of the reason why you had to pick one?
I actually think it helped me. If
Okay.
you look at my counter ability and my quickness to get in, to get out, I think it helped me a lot. That's why when I went over to boxing, everything just kind of came natural to me. And I was pretty much beating up the guys that were boxing for years. I'm like, this guy just coming from karate, how is he able to do this? And from my first sparring, that's kind of how I got my nickname, the Banger.
Yeah. It's a great. Who gave you that?
That was my karate instructor.
Love that.
Back in the day, he gave me that nickname, and everybody just stuck with it ever since.
You don't hear of a lot of boxers who have come from the world of karate. You hear of MMA fighters, of course, but not a lot of boxers. So very unique. I wanted to ask you, you talked about the Olympic dream. To the best of my knowledge, the last time an American won a gold medal, an American male won a gold medal in the Olympics was 1984. Why do you think it's been so long?
You said gold medal?
Gold medal, yeah.
2004.
2004 was the last one?
Yeah. Andre Ward.
Of course, yes, Andre Ward.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what, 20-something years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe 4 Olympic cycles, if my math is correct, something to that effect, maybe 5.
Yes.
Why has it been that long?
I feel like, well, not because me personally, I don't like to make any excuses for myself or anyone, but I feel like if it's a close fight against the U.S. with other countries, they tend to lean more so with the other countries for some reason. I had a pretty close fight in the Olympics, and the first round I could have, I felt like I won, and the other rounds as well. But I mean, I didn't cry or complain. I took my bronze, and now I'm a professional. But speaking on just the Olympic cycle and why we haven't received any gold medals, I just feel like maybe our system kind of changed a little bit, and not to kind of, I don't want to bash Team USA because I'm Team USA for life. I just feel like maybe a little switch up in the system would be best.
In what way? What do you mean by the system?
I'll say like coaching.
Okay.
Coaching, yeah. If we implement some more coaching into the system, and different coaching. I mean, everybody needs different looks, but I feel like the Team USA, we was prepared to the best of our abilities, and I feel like each athlete goes out there and they go for the win. But definitely, I'll say if we add a little bit different coachings right now, Billy Walsh and one of our other strength and conditioning coaches, Jose Polanco, they're doing a great job with Team USA as well. And right now we're dealing with a young team with Team USA. So a little bit more experience is more so the issue. A lot of other countries, they have professionals that are in the Olympic cycles, and Team USA has never had professionals in their system. Whenever a person is done with the Olympics, they usually turn professional and then they're out of the cycle, and they don't have that time to fully develop in the international system. So we're pretty much kids fighting grown men.
I remember Jake Paul tweeting about you being robbed at the Olympics and saying that he was very upset about it. And so you're a very polite and diplomatic young man, and I appreciate you not going down that route. But I do also remember him sort of being affiliated with Team USA. Did he actually train with you guys? Was he around you guys? What was that all about?
Oh, yeah. Jake Paul, he did come out to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. He was actually a sponsor as well. So he saw me right after my fight at the Olympics. I had a lot of support from him. He came to the back room. He was just like, man, you got robbed, man. You got robbed. And I was just like, appreciate you. I'll go back and watch the fight. I don't want to make any excuses, but I was just like, I'll go back and watch it and go from there. But he was pretty prone on letting it be known that he saw me get robbed, and he didn't like it, and a lot of other people didn't like it.
What do you make of him and the state of his career now? How far he's gone, fighting AJ back in December and breaking his jaw?
Yeah, I feel like he put on a good for going against Anthony Joshua. He put on a good fight up until it lasted. He threw a lot of big shots, and if I was like, man, if one of those land, AJ can be in trouble. But I feel like the size and experience just played a factor with Anthony Joshua, and I don't know if Jake Paul is going to continue boxing after that. I know he was kind of questionable. Like, I don't know if I'm going to come back to the ring, but he's doing a great job promoting.
So how far away are we from you fighting at the Kia Center, home of the Orlando Magic, headlining a card there? How far away is that?
I don't think it's too far-fetched. I feel like I get a title fight in the next coming years. I'll be headlining there in no time. I feel like I have pretty much the whole Orlando behind me. I have a few days named after me, the Omari Jones Day in Orlando. I have the key to the city, the glove to the city as well. And it just shows like how much support is behind me. And I feel like I keep having that, keep selling out fights at the Caribe Royale. It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, man, that would be something. If you could paint the perfect scenario, who are you fighting in the main event at the Kia Center?
I don't have, just because I don't know where I'm gonna land, but I feel like it's gonna be a big name. I don't know if I'll have the title or if I have to take the title, but whoever it is, I feel like it's gonna be a stadium packed out. I have an artist, maybe from Orlando, walking me out, or maybe some of my kids from my gym or the Omari Jones Foundation, and just show that I'm with the city, and I'm just giving inspiration to the city that you can be a kid from Orlando, coming from humble beginnings, and you can be on the big stage and dream big.
I still can't believe you guys blew 3-1 to the Pistons, man. I can't. You guys were up, what were you up, 19 in the second half there at home? I still can't believe that.
Heartbreaking. But that's been us for years. So
yeah,
we're gonna keep the faith, and hopefully Orlando will get it together.
Are you a big Magic fan?
Definitely. Yeah, I was at the game 2 or game 3 whenever they won, and I was like, man, we can beat the Pistons.
Yes.
And it came down to game 7, and they just kind of didn't do what they were supposed to do.
No, I thought you guys had it. Game 6 at home. up 3-2 at that point, up 3-1. But, oh well. You had great years back in the 90s with Shaq and Penny and whatnot, and obviously with Dwight Howard later on. A very fun team, very fun city, and you rep them very, very well, my man. So continued success. Congratulations on all that you've accomplished at such a young age. It's very fun seeing you do your thing, and I look forward to seeing you do your thing for many, many more years to come.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I appreciate you for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to being back again after some more wins or that title fight.
Can't wait. Looking forward to that as well. All the best, Omari. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
There he is, Omari Jones of Orlando, the Big O from the Big O. And he's doing big things. A name you may recall, I was obviously watching boxing rather closely in Paris, and he was probably America's greatest hope, if you will. And a lot of people thought he got robbed, ended up with the bronze, so nothing to be too upset about. But he's very, very nice young man, respectful, mature for his age, and someone that I know Eddie and everyone at Matchroom are very, very excited about. So that is a fresh face for us on this program. And in a matter of moments, I don't think we have him just yet. In a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by O'Shaquie Foster, who had a very, very, very eventful weekend. He fought in the main event against Ray Ford, had the back and forth with Shakur Stevenson. Dana White seemingly very interested in Shakur Stevenson, per Eddie Hearn breaking the news yesterday that Zuffa Boxing has signed Shakur. He's breaking their news, which is a very interesting thing. And I do see here that Zuffa Boxing is coming to the 3 Arena in Dublin. So they're getting out of the Apex. To me, this feels like Chapter 2 of Zuffa Boxing. Chapter 1 was the launch, the shows at the Apex. Here's the promo that I think just dropped moments ago. And, nice little, what is that? Is that a forged Irish stout, or is that a Guinness? Is this AI? It's hard to tell, right? August 8th?
Like some AI shit. Like
PT, you going? PT not here yet.
Ariel, man, what the fuck is this?
Why? You're unhappy? Who's going to headline that?
What's going on?
Callum Walsh? No more
30 million for the kitchen squad.
Yeah. I was so mad that I screwed that yesterday with Action. So mad that I blow it. But again, I'm off. I'm off. Next 2 weeks, I'm off. No excuses. I mean, I said the last American gold medalist was 1984. I was off by 20 years. They're going to be in Bournemouth this weekend, Zuffa Boxing. They're going to New York. They're coming here. The Infosys Theater. What is Infosys, by the way? Infosys. I mean, I know
Tech company.
Is it a tech company? Oh, look at this. Consulting, IT. You heard about Infosys?
Oh, yeah.
Infosys Limited is an Indian multinational technology company. All right.
One of the best.
Are they really?
Yes.
Damn. All right. Who knew?
I did.
Who is the CEO of Infosys? Do you know?
No.
It's Salil Parekh. In any event, so Zuffa Boxing, they're even going to the Cosmo in Las Vegas. So maybe the Apex days are done. They're getting out there. I think Callum headlining that show at the 3 Arena is like a -5 million. A surefire thing, although he's not in the actual promo announcement. I think there's some highlights of him, but not in the actual announcement. We'll get to more news and notes on the back end. I do want to let you know, on the nose tomorrow, arielhelwani.substack.com is where you can leave your questions and or comments regarding On the Nose. Tomorrow I'm going to be like just a ball of nerves, just before game 1. I think once game 1 comes and goes, I'm going to feel much better. For now, though, I'm just consuming all the content and trying to look for any clues, anything to be excited about. They showed all these pictures of the team arriving in San Antonio yesterday, and they cropped out Mitchell Robinson's hands, and so you can't, is he okay? Does he have a cast on? What is going on here? O'Shaquie Foster's nickname is Ice Water. And, what is this? He arrived? No, nothing on his hand. Okay. Now, this is coming from intern Josh. Is this accurate or not? I'm not sure now,
Like some AI shit.
It's AI?
He seems pretty confident about this.
He's giving you the 2 thumbs up?
Yeah.
I like how we gave him the mic yesterday, but he's not getting the mic again today.
Look, he doesn't want to...
The seat's wide open for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually why I was trying to tag him in at the top of the show.
Yeah, he's got a seat right here.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with it.
No, he's shaking his head.
No thanks.
Yeah.
All right. I actually am seeing this video here of Mitchell Robinson shooting free throws, and it appears as though he's just shooting normally. Like there's nothing on his hand. Did this never happen? Did he not actually break his pinky? Is this not? This is wild, man. Now you've just taken me down a whole other path. Seeing them at like the NBA Finals Media Day, this is my team. This is wild. Yeah, like Mitch is fine. Is Mitch fine? Why couldn't they have told us this from the beginning? Is he just totally fine? What is going on? Anyway, okay, we need to get back on track here. O'Shaquie Foster, WBC featherweight champion, competed this weekend. Icewater is his nickname. 25-3, 12 knockouts, hailing from Orange, Texas, just east of Houston, 32 years young, 3-fight winning streak. Last 7 fights have been for world titles. And at the Fertitta Center in Houston, not named after Lorenzo, Tillman Fertitta, who's a big deal over in Houston, used to be the owner. I don't think he's the owner anymore of the Houston Rockets. He defeated Raymond Ford via majority decision. And this was a big deal. His first fight in Houston since 2014 when he was just 4-0. A fight that really meant a lot to him. And afterwards, you may have seen the back and forth between him and Shakur Stevenson. We could play it for you, no audio, because there were some bad words said. They got into it. It was entertaining stuff. Shakur repping the Red Sox here, which is interesting for a Newark boy. But, it's probably just for the look. Look how fired up Shakur is. Now, Shakur is Raymond's guy. How much do you think that necklace costs right there? Like, that's got to be... Is that over $1 million, you think? GC usually has a good read on these things. I mean, look how thick that thing is.
Yeah, probably not $1 million.
You don't think so?
Dude, $1 million on a necklace is crazy. It's definitely six figures.
This is a boxer here we're talking about. Like their pay's a little bit different. They roll a little bit different. That's why I'm really curious to hear what he did sign for, if in fact he did sign with Zuffa. That's a great signing for them. That's a phenomenal signing. I love Shakur Stevenson. I think the world of him. Anyway, that would be a tremendous fight. And, who knows if it can actually happen here if they do confirm the signing. But the fight itself was very entertaining. It started off very entertaining when it seemed as though Foster threw Ford out of the ring. There were all kinds of things that happened. But in the end, it was a successful night for the Texas native, very close to Houston, very close to home. And now he has set himself up, I would think, for some really big fights. And so without further ado, let us speak to the aforementioned O'Shaquie Foster, who is kind enough to join us right here and now. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to have you on the show, and congratulations on the win.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate y'all having me.
Big time win for you, essentially at home. How much did Saturday night mean to you?
Man, it meant the world, man. Just finally getting a homecoming fight as being a champion and making it successful. That's I see a lot of people be struggling with homecoming. So, it meant the world for me to be, for it to turn out how it did.
Did you feel extra pressure because it was a home fight?
Nah, not really. Actually, I felt, calm as ever. I just look at it like, it was my time and that, God got me here for a reason. So, I just wanted to take advantage of it.
Okay, so several questions about the fight. What happened in the first round there where it seemed like you threw him out of the ring? That was crazy, man.
Honestly, I don't know. I thought we was going to get physical. So when we made the pivot, I was just trying to push him into the ropes. But it was just coincidentally, the way he flew in, I guess he couldn't stop himself. But it didn't look like he tried to stop himself. So I don't know, man. It was hard though. I did not try to throw him out the ring.
So just to be clear, do you think he was kind of like embellishing it to leave the ring? Is that what you felt?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't see him like use his hands or nothing to try like stop himself or shield himself. It's like he just let himself fly out the ring. I don't know. I've never seen it like that. Like, I threw guys into the ropes and then, like the ropes stop them and make them bounce back or something. But I don't know. That was crazy.
What did the ref say to you? I think some people were surprised that a point wasn't taken away. What did he say after that?
Well, I think he didn't take a point because when he said something to me and Ray, like, "Hey, y'all don't start that." Me and Ray both was like, "Bro, like that wasn't on purpose. Like it was an accident." Even Ray, like, he didn't complain about it because he knew like that wasn't like a purpose. Like I didn't throw him out the ring on purpose, and especially being from that angle, it's like hard for somebody just with gloves on to throw him out the ring so accurate.
You guys faced off earlier in the week, and he pushed you, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, I mean, you certainly felt a certain way about him leading up to it, but did that take things to a different level? Did that make things more personal, in your opinion?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was already personal, so the push was just I knew I was in his head. But when we grabbed each other, I definitely thought we was gonna get. I thought it was gonna be super physical at certain points of the fight. But yeah, he came out on with different energy than I thought.
Why was it already personal?
Just all the talking, all the back and forth, everything, everything they were saying for 2 years. I stayed quiet and I just let them talk until the fight was made official. And then y'all seen me start popping my stuff and just talking crazy. But at first I wasn't saying nothing.
And so overall, as far as the performance and the fight is concerned, are you happy?
Yeah, I mean, I dominated him. I wish I could have did a little bit more things, especially in the 11th round when I hurt him bad. I could have went to the body more and tried to finish him and get him out of there. But I feel like all around, it was a good performance.
Immediately after you win, it starts to pop off between you and Shakur. Why so quickly there? Why did you turn your attention to him so fast?
Because that's his mans, they was trying to assemble the Avengers, or what they call the Avengers, to help him get ready for me. And that's who he told. He was saying when I wanted to fight him, he said I had to give his boy an opportunity. So that's who I gave the opportunity to. And, I wanted him to be the first one to know he who I want next. And, I had to go straight to him. I knew exactly where he was sitting.
So we heard what you guys were saying to each other in the ring, but like when he came in the ring, but right there, what are you saying to him when he's outside of the ring?
I'm telling him, I told him I was gonna do that to his son. I told him now the daddy next. I was telling him get in the ring, come see. Cause I couldn't really hear what he was saying back. But that's what I was telling him, come get in the ring. I told him what I was gonna do, and it happened just like I said.
Yeah, it was a great scene, a great back and forth. At one point towards the end, once he's in the ring, you say, don't be disrespectful. Like, did you feel at any point like it crossed the line?
Nah. As far as like, I seen him start taking off his jewelry and stuff, and then like he started raising his hands like he was gonna, put him in my face and stuff. So that's when I was like, hey, we ain't gonna do none of that. So before he even got to being disrespectful, I had to make it known, don't start being disrespectful because, I just had a fight. We're gonna have another fight in here if it go that way,
How possible, in your opinion, is it for this fight to be made? Like, how confident are you that it could actually happen in the near future?
I don't know, man. We trying. I just seen some stuff about Zulfa.
Yeah.
So if that happens, then I'm definitely not sure because I'm with Tyrank DAZN and Zulfa. I know they with Paramount, so we'll just have to see. I really don't know what's gonna happen if he go that route, but we all know that's a super duck. It's a duck move if he go over there. He gave his word and he ain't standing on it, so we'll see.
Why do you think it's a duck?
Because he gave his word.
In what way?
If I beat his son, he'll be, he'll give me the opportunity or whatever he call the opportunity. I just want to fight. He got in the ring the other day. He said, we next. He said he was talking crazy. I told him to shake on it, but he didn't want to shake on it. So, that told me right there that he wasn't too serious.
Yeah, the Shakur Zuffa thing kind of came out yesterday. Were you surprised when you saw that?
Yeah, for sure. But I've been, we've been hearing it, circulating for a few months. So I wouldn't have been surprised, but definitely how quick it came about, yes.
Knowing what you know about Zuffa, were you surprised initially when you heard that he was going to go there?
Yeah. Just because, where I don't know where the guys go from there, just because all the big fights and everything is kind of on this side. So I guess if he signed to fight Conor Ben or, I don't know what. I really don't know. I can't even tell you.
Can I ask, how do you feel about what they're doing with regards to their own belt and the new Ali Act and, trying to do their own thing as far as boxing is concerned?
Man, I don't know. I honestly don't know because me growing up, I always watched the champions, the WBC belt, IBF, all them WBO, WBA, and it's real history and real legends that I looked up to that fought for these belts, and they mean so much to a fighter that it's kind of hard to take that away and try to change the program. It's gonna be years and years of history that they're gonna have to try to make to be able to, replicate what the WBC and everybody has done. But I'm definitely, I don't know. I couldn't see myself. I just gotta say, I don't know. We gotta see.
Okay, fair enough. What's the genesis of the issue between you and Shakur? Where does this start?
Just two-faced it, man. Two-faced it. He a two-faced snake, man. That's it. He was trying to be out. I mean, we was cool back then, but then when certain stuff transpired, we had a little falling out, and then he came back around and just was trying to be cool, trying to be friends with me, trying to get me to come over there and spar and everything. And I told him on the message hey, I don't do no fake kicking it. I'm cool on all that. And next thing you know, I see his little man's calling me out, and then his little man's exposed him, saying that he been basically telling him behind the scenes that he's gonna help him day in and day out if he was to fight me, and he want to be his main sparring partner. So it was just like a bunch of snake stuff. Why you trying to get me to come hang and get me to come kick it, and then you telling this guy that? So I'm like, yeah, you the target. Then let's get to you.
After your interaction, he went on X and tweeted, "Boy gonna want to shake my hand," after saying he ain't shaking hands. F out of here, let's fight. And then he said, "Look, they starting already. This dude screamed my name on every platform, lie and say he beat me up and ran me out of the gym when I ain't never run from anybody. I'm a man first, gang, let's get it." And so what happened there in the gym?
Man, he know what happened. I see his people want to come respond now. He know what happened in that gym. He got ran out of there. That's why if you notice, he wasn't training in Houston, and he wasn't fighting. He wasn't training in Houston. After that summer, after we had those sparring sessions and the gym got too hot for him while we were sparring, that's part of the reason he ran out the ring. It got too hot for him, and I was cooking. And he changed up his whole camp and started training in Houston and trying to get used to that heat and everything. So, I mean, he can say what he want. We know what happened. Inside his heart, y'all can see how he responds to everything. Y'all know a liar when y'all see one.
Okay. And how long ago, by the way, was that, the interactions in the gym?
It was like 2020, something like that, 2021, something like that.
Okay.
It wasn't recent, but we were sparring a lot around that time. So, he definitely remember every session. It was he know what's up.
Okay, fair enough. This is our first time getting a chance to talk to you. Do you mind if I ask you about your upbringing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I understand you've been through a lot, and that's putting it mildly, right? I've read you have no baby pictures. You have nothing from when you were a kid.
Yeah, nah, I don't got no baby pictures. Not up until I was like maybe like 5, maybe like 5. Yeah.
And your mother passed when you were young.
Yeah, when I was 12.
How did that change you and the trajectory of your life?
Really, it just took away, like, if we're being real, it just made me like super tough because it took away like having that person that's gonna like hug you, hold you, tell you it's good all the time. My pops was kind of tough, so he wasn't that kind of dude. And my grandma, she had like, it was like 12 of us grandkids that would be over there at one time. So
Wow.
she couldn't give me like the love that I needed, like that was from like a mother. So growing up, like I always had to be hard, or like when something happened or anything happened, I've always had to go, soul search like for myself and like try to figure it out myself, or I just didn't have that ear or that like hold you, it's gonna be all right. So I always just had to be tough, man, and carry it.
Did you get into trouble as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be fighting a lot, just growing up in the circumstances. I adapted to my environment for sure.
Your grandmother passes in 2017. Would you say that was a turning point for you, that really like affected you to the point where you really went down the wrong path?
Yeah, that definitely like, so like when my cousin died in 2016, when he got killed, and that kind of brought out like, cause when my mama died, I was so young, so like it didn't like build like hate towards me. It just made me be like alone and made me tough. But when my cousin died, it kind of like gave me hate and made me like, dude, like it made me want to get a revenge. It just sent me down a dark place. And then it just ain't help when my grandma died. It just like made it spiral. So I just started doing whatever. I didn't care. You know what I mean? I just was just in the streets bad. I ain't gonna lie, just doing whatever.
Yeah, and like I said, you've overcome a lot. What I read was that you were accused of attempted murder in 2017, and you're watching Terrence Crawford in jail, and that was kind of like a crystallized moment for you, where you're like, you need to dedicate yourself to boxing. You're watching him on ESPN. Is that an accurate story?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had went down for a shooting, broad daylight. I was, like I said, I was doing whatever, just wilding, and once I got that situation that happened, I ended up bonding out, but I started catching a whole bunch of other cases, another gun case and other stuff, and it just like, after getting into so many situations with the police and just on the streets, that last time I went to jail, like nobody wanted to bond me out, like. Not, and I ain't talking about the people outside. I'm talking about like lawyers. They was trying to charge me crazy money. The Bells bondsmen, they didn't want to mess with me. So it was just like I was just sitting there. And when you just sitting there and you don't know when or what you're gonna do, it just made me. And then I saw the Terrence Crawford fight, and it just made me just change. It just made me like, all right, I'm gonna have to try something, or is this gonna be my path right here? So boxing was what I had left, and I had to just jump in head first.
The good news is the charge was lessened to an aggravated assault. So obviously you eventually got out and got to do your thing. But in the moment when all this is transpiring, are you thinking your life is over? Are you thinking you're never going to get to resume your career and fulfill your dreams?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when it happened, we didn't know if like the dude was like, seriously injured, dead, anything like that. So definitely like everything was running through my mind. I thought it was over for me. Like, I thought I threw my life away. And God just gave me another chance. So I just told him I was gonna take full advantage of it.
How have you stayed away from trouble since then? It seems like you've done a good job now. You're doing big things. How have you turned things around in your life?
Just changing the people that surround me. A lot of them situations was really the people that was around me and the energies, they had stuff going on, I had stuff going on, and when they collided, it was just no good. So I just changed my circle, man, and stayed focused on the positive. Like, if you ain't doing nothing positive, then you can't be around me. Like, anything negative, or if I got a question if you're doing anything negative, then I don't want you around me, because the people you hang around, their situation will become your situation, and that was happening a lot at the time. So, especially if you're a loyalty type person like I am, like, if I'm with you, I'm with you. So I be trying to help out anytime I can. So I had to just stay away from that kind of people.
Do you consider yourself a role model?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you like that kids look up to you? Like some athletes don't want kids to look up to them. Some athletes don't want to be a role model. They don't want that pressure. But you've been through a lot, and you've seemingly survived and come out really well on the other end. Do you want that responsibility?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's the biggest thing being an athlete in my position, because it just wasn't all handed to me, and it's a lot of people that fail out there the first time or the second time, and I'm the witness that you can turn it all around, even if you do, and that you can, all you gotta do is work hard and change your mentality, and it ain't over for you. So I feel like I'm a testimony for a lot of people, and I embrace that, because if I could change one life or a many, I would love to.
I've always wondered about your name. Where does Oshaki come from?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I know my mom's gave it to me, but she said it was supposed to be Oceanique, but they spelled it wrong on my birth certificate. So
come on, I thought it was like Shaq, because Shaquille O'Neal was big when you were born. Like, I don't know, a play on that. It was supposed to be Oceanique.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Oceanique, but they spelled it wrong on my birth certificate, so it's been Oshaki. I actually didn't find out my name was Oshaki until my first amateur fight when I was 8 years old.
Come on.
They announced me as it. I'm like, they messed up my name, and then I look on the birth certificate, my name is Oshaki for real.
So what did they call you up until that point? Oceanique?
Yeah, Oceanique.
Wow. That's
what my coaches was calling me, but. Yeah, the first fight they announced me as Shaki, and it was just like, huh?
That's a great story. It's a great name too. Do you like it now?
Oh yeah, I mean, it goes with. I like Shock. I like Shock when they call me Shock.
Yeah,
everybody called me Shock, so I feel like it just stuck. It gave me another nickname.
That's an amazing story. By the way, can you clear something up for us? You beat Stephen Fulton for the interim WBC lightweight title, right? Back in December?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
when I look up who the WBC recognizes as champions, they don't have you listed as interim champion. So what's going on there? For lightweight division, obviously featherweight, of course, but are you not the interim champion?
No. So I had relinquished it like a few weeks after the fight, and this guy, the Cuban guy, had fought for it. I forget his name.
Javier Herrera.
Yeah. He ended up fighting a guy for it, the Mexican guy. And,
Ricardo Nunes.
Yeah.
Okay, so why'd you relinquish it?
Because eventually I was going to have to choose, and I felt like keeping the 130-pound title held more weight than keeping the 135. It gave me more options just in case, I wanted to unify, or in this case, have a big fight at home and defend it against Ray Ford. Or if Shakur would have came back if he would have kept his title instead of letting it go before the Teal fight, if he would have came back, I would have been the first in line for the mandatory for him. So it just gave me more options and more things to think about instead of just, just giving myself one option and hoping that work out.
I see a lot of fans saying if it's not going to be the Shakur fight, Navarrete means the biggest fight for you. It's the biggest fight out there for you. Do you agree with that? Are you interested in that fight?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but we got to see what's going on, because I'm not trying to keep waiting for Navarrete. I'm not going to lie. I've tried to make that fight for years now. He sounded like he was serious in Arizona, so I'm gonna hold him to that. But if it can't work out next, then I'm probably not gonna stick around just too long for him because you know I wanted stuff to motivate me, you know, and the Ray Ford fight motivated me. That fight would motivate me, so you know it's either that or Kakashi. That's the only way I can stay at 130.
Okay. By the way, how are you liking things with Top Rank now? Now that they got the DAZN deal and everything, you feel good about where they're at?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel good the whole time. They didn't have a hard time finding me fights. They know I'm a warrior. I'm a great champion, and that I can go on these other platforms and still get the job done. So they've done well by me, keeping me busy and everything. And I'm definitely happy that we got a home now, and it'll be bigger fights and more fights to come for real, for sure.
Well, congrats on the win, man. Congrats on everything that you're doing. Great fight on Saturday. Great scenes before and afterwards as well. Looking forward to watching you continue to do your thing. It was great to have you on the show.
Man, I thank you, bro. I appreciate y'all having me.
All the best to you. There he is, Oshaki Foster, the WBC Super Featherweight champion, who is doing very big things. Won on Saturday. So Super Featherweight is 130 pounds. Featherweight is 126 pounds. I may have said featherweight at the beginning. It's very, I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot of belts in boxing. But, you know, WBC is probably the most recognized one. And what a backstory. I mean, you could probably dig a little bit deeper when it comes to his backstory. Been through a lot, has had a lot happen to him, but it seems like he is on the other side of it and doing big things, and that was a big moment for him on Saturday in Houston. And so, yes, I understand some of these names may not be household names to our usual fans, but I like to try to introduce you to these other names from the world of combat sports. So many great stories out there, so many great personalities. And love having those first-time chats. Hope you guys enjoy them as well. Okay, there is some news and notes to get to. Is Pete here, by the way?
Yeah. How are you?
Oh, hey, Pete. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been a great day. Mick Foley, Scott Coker, et cetera, et cetera. I did want to give you the opportunity to respond because you did draw the ire of a young man on social media who wrote a scathing...
A dossier.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. This is actually addressed to both you and I, but I feel like it's more to you, if I'm being honest. This is, I think, in regards to the Arsenal, as they're called, falling short in the Champions League final. Get your facts right before spouting absolute... What do you think the BIT... Well, what is that?
I was wondering about this. Ball, maybe?
BS? Who knows? You know nothing about. The parade had to be on Sunday due to international commitments. I think we both said that, right?
We did, yeah, both said it. Yeah, both said it.
Obviously, they have to plan for all the eventualities, i.e. potentially winning European Cup. No one at the parade
That's not really a point.
miserable.
That's not really a point.
Yeah, it's just the line.
It shouldn't have been a bullet point. It
I
shouldn't
agree.
have been a bullet point
I agree.
for Danny. Okay.
No one at the parade was miserable, you liar.
Well, the players were. There were pictures of the players
looked pretty.
very miserable. They looked...
Yeah. I agree with that. The police have confirmed over 1 million attendees. All right, sure. There was no goading going on as penalties flew in. Most Arsenal fans were shitting themselves, as is normal.
Most. Keyword here, just this point. There was no goading.
But most.
Then it goes to most.
Yeah.
Which would leave... It would leave a few people loose there, wouldn't they? That could potentially be goading.
It's not unanimous.
I'm just saying... You know what I mean? Let's not talk in superlatives. You know what I mean? That's
a great point.
Let's be fair. Yeah.
Okay, we continue here. Yeah. Of course, there are going to be more Arsenal shirts following a title win. I mean, if you're proud of your team, you're proud of your team. Adults generally don't wear football shirts day to day. I mean, I've seen many who do that. It's reserved for football matches and special occasions, i.e. a first title win. That is nonsense. I see you guys wearing kits the mayor of New York's doing interviews while wearing an Arsenal shirt. I mean, he's certainly not a...
I've also, I don't know, we probably don't have them here to hand, but I just sent the group some videos earlier of people wearing Arsenal jerseys who were quickly asked about the support of Arsenal. They were at the parade as well. Couldn't tell you who the manager was.
Wow.
One of them didn't correlate that the Gunners were in fact Arsenal.
Wow.
Another guy, I said this to you earlier, was asked at the parade, how does it feel? And he said, it feels so good to be champions of Europe. And someone said straight away, and he went, So, I'm just saying, it's all out there.
Let's wrap this up here from our friend. By the way, his name is Danny G.
Fair play, Danny.
Yep. He
Defend your
says
team.
time
Fair
wasting
play.
is overblown. Check the stats.
No, it's not.
Lazy
It's not.
narratives. Also, football one did it. Yes, another win for state-owned PSG. Bravo, football. I mean, it's just...
It was, come on, one team was playing football out there. The other team were trying to stop another team from playing football. That's just a fact. Look, should be happy with your league. I mean, well, Danny, enjoy it, mate. You're champions of England. I mean, why are you so upset? You know what I mean? I don't understand. This is a joyous period. There's 1 million people on the streets, according to you. This should be great times. You shouldn't be on the tube at 8:20 writing dossiers to me and Ariel. That's all I'm saying. If you're so happy. That's all I'm saying.
He's going to love this. He's going to love this. Anyway, fair play. Much love. Peace and love. By the way, we shared the news moments ago. Zuffa Boxing coming to your shores, PT.
Absolutely. The place, when that news went off.
Crazy?
I mean,
you going to be there?
It was like we won got to the final of the Champions League and lost. I mean, the millions on the streets, a lot of people buzzing. Finally can wear my Zuffa Boxing t-shirt and people go, that guy was there from
the one that Chuck caught you. Yes, I was. Maybe they'll sell I Was There Zuffa Boxing debut at the Tree Arena.
And I can get one for Chuck, reciprocate.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
It's all coming.
Beautiful.
Obviously, Calm will headline. Will it sell out, you think?
You know, the last time they did the 3, it wasn't great from what I heard. I mean, in terms of the event, I'm not too sure, but in terms of the ticket sales weren't great. But I will say, like, Callum's done a lot of big things since then. He's been in a lot more prominent places. He's much more of a commodity.
Crawford Canelo.
I was there for the Queensbury event, Kakachi, and that was a sellout. I think boxing is buzzing here, so I think they have the best chance to get as many arses and seats as possible. You have all this talk about Katie Taylor. You have a Queensbury event coming up as well. Pierce O'Leary. I think it will be close, honestly. Even if they shut down the arena to do the kind of smaller side, I think they'll definitely fill it out. I think it will look good on TV.
What a stretch there. They had the press conference today for that Queensbury fight. You've got this card in August. September 5th is being discussed. What a stretch for you guys over in the Emerald Isle, right?
And, you know,
boxing. When it went like, what was it, 8 years or so without boxing in Ireland?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm seeing so many people around me, like my own friends, like talking about getting tickets to the O'Leary fight and stuff, and that just never would have happened. Obviously, pro boxing wasn't really a thing in the Republic for a long time, especially these big events, these big arena events. So it does feel like we're back in some kind of boom period around Dublin. And Pierce O'Leary has a really loyal following. I saw them all there that night. All the Sheriff Street Massive having the time of their lives. So I think he's the new Bernard Dunn, of course, who was the guy who was headlining the Tree Arena under Brian Peters, who went on, of course, to be Katie's manager and doing brilliant things with her. So I think it's a very, very good time to be involved in boxing in Ireland.
Speaking of upcoming fights, RAF has released their RAF 10 poster and lineup for their upcoming show. This is the one headlined by Hamza Chimaev versus Dylan Dennis. Can I be honest with you guys? I really don't believe, I still can't believe, I should say, that this match is actually happening. Is that Aaron Pico down there? I think, is that his debut for RAF? Aaron Pico versus Lance Palmer? Tarukian versus Ferguson. They're coming fast and furious with these events. Do you guys think that Dennis... I remember us one time talking about Dennis versus KSI and setting the line as to whether or not Dennis will show. I feel like Dennis shows up to this one. I still can't believe it's actually happening.
But, do you know, I think you're burying the lead a bit, Ariel, because if you look at the card there, just bring up the card there again.
Yeah, what do we got?
Just saying, it could be, is that another installment of Ireland v Dagestan? O'Toole v Abdurrahmanov? I mean... That sounds to me like it could be Ireland v Dagestan. Huge.
Is O'Toole from Ireland, or are you just saying he has an Irish name?
No, it just has an Irish name.
And Abdurrahmanov,
not too sure either.
Okay.
But I'm just saying
it just sounds like it. No,
it could be.
Yeah. Earlier, we were talking about Justin and Ilya. I showed a video of Justin's father speaking about the fight. I don't think it was that bad. Ilya responding. What's this from Justin himself? Justin has weighed in on things. Is it getting personal here between Justin Gaethje and Ilya Topuria? I do believe There's a quote here from Justin Gaethje on Ilia Topuria via Fox Sports Australia. All that guy is a gimmick. He calls himself the king. He thinks he's a god. What an annoying little bastard. I couldn't imagine being in a room with him for 30 minutes listening to him talk about himself. I would leave him. That's all I'm saying. No way I would put up with his shit. Is that a shot at like what he's been through as of late?
Yeah.
Gosh. This is getting ugly, right?
I missed that. Like, where is the inside shot there?
I would leave him, meaning like I would leave him as a partner, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Justin Gaethje would divorce Ilia Topuria as well.
Well, there goes that.
Appreciate you clarifying that for us, Justin.
I mean, that's a weird one, right?
Well, what did Ilia say about his dad? Don't think that got personal. He just kind of disagreed with his sentiment.
He just said, Papa, yeah.
His dad called him a short guy.
Yeah.
No, but Ilia didn't go at the dad, did he?
He didn't go at the dad, but he was like, "I'm gonna put your son on ice on the White House card. He's gonna go to the hospital. You're gonna find out who I am, 18-0." I mean,
it's not personal though. It's fine.
We're getting family involved here. We're getting,
How is there family involved? How is that family?
Called them Papa.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
I'm pretty sure Ilia had nice things to say about Justin Gaethje.
Yes, I believe he has since said that it is not personal. And to his credit, Ilia doesn't get very personal historically. Like, he is confident, and people don't like that. They call him cocky, and that, riles people up, the Instagram record and all that stuff. But here he is confirming that it's not as personal as perhaps some people think.
He's a nice guy. I don't have anything personal to him. I don't think he has anything personal with me neither. We just had a great conversation. We talk about our families, about our hobbies, all that. He's a great guy, and the only thing is that we are gonna have to fight maximum for 25 minutes. But after that, we are gonna have the whole life to spend some time together.
Really,
I will be up to.
Okay, to clarify, I think that's old. That is
old.
That is older than these conversations they've just been having.
And Justin saying he would leave him. Here's Ilia saying he wants to spend his whole life together.
We have a whole lifetime to spend together, Justin. Justin's like, I'm gonna fucking leave. Okay.
So what's going on?
Do you think it's more of a slight that he has no emotion whatsoever when he's talking about this guy? He's just like, oh yeah, it's great. Well, hopefully we'll be friends.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's unfortunate what I have to do. Like, is Justin Gaethje going like, hang on a second, what?
Maximum of 25 minutes.
That's it. Maximum. What's the over-under on this one?
I can't imagine it's very
1.5.
Yeah.
I was going to say 1.5, yeah.
I would imagine it's there. I mean, Ilia Topuria inside the distance is like minus 450.
Wow.
Yeah, over 1.5. Under 2.5 is minus 185.
Okay. Oh, 2.5. All right. That may not be a super fight. I would say Ilia versus Arman, Ilia versus Islam is a super fight. A super fight that we never got was GSP versus Anderson Silva. GSP recently speaking to our good friend Demetrius Johnson about this fight. This was a fight that we were teased. They wanted, they talked. I remember there was one time Anderson Silva fought Nick Diaz, UFC 183, and they had GSP in the freaking box there. Do you remember that, PT? They had him in the pip.
Yeah.
They had him in the box like to get his reaction because it seemed like it was all lining up for that. Anyway, here's GSP talking about one of the great fights that did not happen.
This is one of the biggest regret of the fans. So what happened is that at the time when I was in my prime and Anderson Silva was in their prime, I can only speak from my side because I don't know what was happening on Anderson Silva's side. I was only asked once by Dana and Lorenzo Fertitta, and I had the request because I was like, okay, you want me to get out of my way to go up in a weight class? I need to be compensated because, it's different. Now, if I have full of challenge now in my weight class, so if I'm fighting someone bigger, I need to, change my training, try to get bigger, maybe. So my request was like, if I fight Anderson Silva, I wanted to be put in the contract. I wanted to be compensated better. One, I wanted to be done in a catch weight because Anderson fought in Pride at 170.
Yeah,
and I knew he could go down. I don't know if he could have gone down at that moment of his career because he got. It seems like he got heavier as time goes by. I don't know. Maybe it's only an impression, but so he was in a catch weight. so I could after that go back because I saw what happened with Roy Jones. He went up and then tried to go back, get knocked out by Antonio Tarver. And it's easier to go up,
but it's
then
harder to go back down.
Yes, that was for this reason. I know, physically, if I go up, I needed to go back down because I wouldn't spend my career there. So and the third one was I wanted to have drug testing implement.
Mm-hmm.
And they never got back to me. They never, that was my intention. They say, you want that? If you make that happen, I'm in.
Yeah.
To GSP's credit, he said all of these things back then. I remember this vividly. He talked about the up, down, the drug testing, all these things. This is not revisionist. He said all those things back then. But great collab there between GSP and DJ. On many people's Mount Rushmore, if you ask me as far as Mount Rushmore of clean athletes who never tested positive, what, you disagree?
No, I'm just saying it's pointed, isn't it?
Well, I'm just saying, never tested positive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Names get dropped off the list. Jones gets dropped off the list. Anderson gets dropped off the list. I would say top of the head, greatest of all time. If you never tested positive, GSP, DJ, Fedor.
That.
No?
Well, I'm just saying the era that Fedor is from. I mean,
no. Listen, did he ever test positive?
That's fair enough.
Habib, did he? Who would be the fourth?
Habib never tested positive.
No, I'm saying, yeah, this is my list of Mount Rushmore who never tested positive.
DC.
Yeah, DC. I think DC had a greater resume than Habib, just because he lasted longer, right? Double champ.
Divisions.
Yeah. Am I forgetting someone?
We're definitely forgetting someone. Definitely. Randy?
James Tahuna?
Randy Couture?
Greatest MMA fighters of all time. Who am I forgetting? John
BJ Penn?
I don't know. Maybe on Rick's list. Aldo?
Yeah.
Alex Volkanovski?
I mean, how far are we going back?
Alex Volkanovski?
Yeah.
In that discussion? Maybe. Anyway, good discussion. Fun little game.
How many people on Mount Rushmore?
4. Yeah, DC is actually probably the shout. DC, DJ, GSP, Fedor. I feel good about that. I feel very good about that. One man who did fight Anderson Silva. Did you guys see this? Chris Weidman fought him actually twice. Chris Weidman saves the day at home. Baby snatcher. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at those reflexes. Still got it. First of all, Chris is lying like almost upside down there, right? Baby, let's go. We have to watch this multiple times. His baby back to the ground. How's the baby sitting? Oh, geez.
Oh.
Jeez. What a catch. How's he recording this, by the way? What has he got?
It's probably a baby camera, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, some people got the internal ones, right? Do you have that? Do you have an internal one? Look at this. Whoop-ah. Andy, come on. That's impressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reflexes
Andy does
are
this
crazy.
every week.
I know.
When she's producing the cracks, she has to do this kind of stuff herself. I've heard the stories.
I did tell PT, what was it, 2 weeks ago, PT? I was like, I just had to get Rohan off the dresser, and it was like tipping. Why do they do this, guys?
Yo, they just don't have a sense of like what's right, what's wrong, what's safe, what's not. When we were in Florida in April, my sister's daughter is like 2 years old, and she was sitting on a chair in a restaurant. She was leaning back. I wish I had this on camera. Leaning back, chair falls back, and you should have seen this save. Chair hits the ground. If it would have hit the concrete, her head would have smashed on the concrete. I dive, save the chair, and end up being the buffer between head, chair, and concrete. One of the great saves. And like that was great. If I'm being honest, my save was greater, but I don't have any visual evidence of it. I was very, very proud. So I know the feeling that he had there because then you like hug them and you're like, please don't ever do that again, you know? Amazing.
Should have the camera on.
Yeah.
Someone recording it.
There was a camera recording Alex Pereira. I always enjoy trying to find the link between every item. He's in a new film called Onslaught, guys. A24 film. There he is. AP in the house. Looks good. What do we know about this film?
Army?
Onslaught. Does anyone know anything about it? Frank, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to cinephile.
Oh,
Rick.
Is Rick even there anymore?
Yeah, man, he's cooking.
What's he doing back there?
Brother, who do you think's putting these pictures up?
I have no idea. Is it Jordan from home?
That's
Hey, what's
Rick,
up, Rick? Oh, there's intern Josh.
Yeah, JM.
I thought he left.
Why is Rick changing seats like this? I don't like that.
Because Jordan's not here.
Jordan's not here, so
vacation
did
again.
not watch the beginning of the show.
What do you think double clicked old Scott Coker's lower third on earlier?
Yo, how was it, Rick? Tell us. How was it?
How was it doing Jordan's job?
Yeah.
How was the trailer for the film?
No. Doing
So the
Jordan's
trailer was great.
Okay.
You know?
doing Jordan's job.
We miss you, Jordan.
You could weigh in on things. You just, you could have.
Yes, I'm not in
Mount
my
Rushmore?
element. Yeah, it's just.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of clean athletes?
John Jones.
He doesn't like any
John
clean
Jones. Clean.
No, they're all dirty, so I don't have like a clean athletes and dirty athletes list. They're all
right.
Suspicious to me.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
It looked great.
BJ Penn's gonna
Action
be on
movie, A24.
Oh, no, I meant
Alex
about the
Burr,
Mount Rushmore.
Jesus Christ.
John Jones. Who's number 2? That's a.
I'd say it was BJ Penn would be a natural one there for you, Rick.
No. I think the end of the career hurt the legacy quite a bit.
So then Fedor's probably out for you too.
GSP.
Yeah. DJ. DC.
Anderson Silva.
Khabib.
No, Habib didn't do it long enough.
I thought you would have this ready to go.
I find this one hard.
GC back there changing the calendar.
I forgot it's June.
That's a good point.
Shout out. It's not MMA. It's actually soccer this month. That's pretty crazy.
Wow,
Mount Rushmore isn't necessarily best.
Yeah.
So if we're doing Mount Rushmore, you got to have Hoist on there.
Okay.
Hickson's better than Hoist.
Frank, what are you talking about?
What did you say, Frank?
Hickson's better than Hoist, but is he more impactful?
Yes.
No, stop. Come on.
Listen.
UFC.
He opened the door that Hoist walked through, Rick.
Nah. You're crazy.
He absolutely did. Yeah.
I think
he was actually just sick.
Hickson
they just
is
let
is
Hoist jump.
Pioneer, but
No, it wasn't that
ultimately
he was sick. It was that they wanted.
Yeah.
Hickson would have been too good, so they wanted little Hoist to do it.
Hoist did the
There you
thing.
go. You've answered the question yourself. You've answered the
Hickson's the pioneer, but Hoist did the thing. So you can't. I mean, it's two different.
Hickson by armbar.
Would have. That's the
For sure.
That's the word.
Hickson.
Would. What's that, GC? What are you doing?
I was agreeing with Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Hickson
Thank
by
you,
armbar.
GC. Cheers, mate.
Hickson versus Hoist would have been the match, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and who would have won? You know who would have won. So,
I read Hickson Gracie's book.
What's it called again?
Choke?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was Breathe. Who's that?
Well, no, he does the breathing exercises with his
Choke is
stomach.
the
Vito
film.
Portal.
Choke is a
Choke's the film.
Palahniuk book, I thought.
Choke is a great documentary. Should be.
Yeah. Breathe by Hickson
PC,
Gracie. Yeah, I
PC
read
said it with such confidence.
it. Yeah, I know. He was made me
It's the
question
documentary.
myself.
No, Choke
Yeah,
is the film.
Sure.
It's a great film.
Documentary, book.
Breathe is the book.
Two different things. Guys, I failed to mention this yesterday, and I wanted to mention it on a serious note. Former KSW fighter, former UFC fighter Jay Silva passed away, and this was shocking to see. He last fought in 2025, just last year, for the promotion Fame. Like I said, has fought for KSW. They were the ones to put out the news. Maximum FC back in the day, Bellator, Tachi Palace, UFC, even was on that one and only Golden Boy MMA card. Has been a fixture in the fight game for quite some time, and was very sad to see this. Unclear as to how he passed away, but he was just 45 years young, and we're wishing the best to his family. Sad to see that Jay Silva has passed away at such a young age, and still seemingly active. Although prior to the 2025 fight, he had not fought in 6 years. So sad news, and sending our best to his family. Do we have any super chats, Frank?
Super chats. Yes. And to read them today is our own Josh Markowitz.
Wow, he's back. Now, are these AI super chats, or are they?
A few of them are. No, I'm kidding. They're not.
Okay, here we go, Josh. Here we go. Here's your chance.
All right. Sammy says, Ariel, boys in the back, the Crake. Can you name the...
You botched the fourth word.
What did I botch?
Wow.
Frank, you could have given him the heads up. Here.
Reading is fucking hard. I've
You
been
could have
saying
given
it
him the
forever.
heads up. Frank, I feel like
Frank set him up for failure.
sitting
This
right
is-
Frank, you set him up. You
I'm
set
only
him
a
up.
student. I'm only a
Set
student.
him up.
Frank, it's the crack. It's a tough word that if I was guiding you through this,
All right.
I would have said to you, Josh,
Listen,
hey,
Josh,
that fourth
sorry
word
that
is
happened.
tough. Yeah.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah.
The conversation to read these happened literally 2 minutes ago. Just threw him right under the bus.
Exactly as we suspected. Seems like.
Welcome to the team, Josh.
Yeah. All right, keep going. Let's start this
Your
again.
stuff.
Crack, like it's like a butt crack. Go ahead.
Thanks, Frank.
Drug.
That was your reference point? Your first
hell,
reference?
Sorry about this, Jake.
Wait, who's Jake?
Jake's the
You
guy.
know, Jacob. Jacob.
All
Please
good. Don't worry about it.
Don't do this.
Wait, isn't Josh reading these?
Yeah, but you didn't say what else.
I don't get it.
Oh, man.
I don't get it.
Fucking hell.
Now we just threw Ariel under the bus.
Oh, God. Of course. Wait, you guys are throwing out a lot of names here.
No,
I thought
Yeah,
that
one name too many.
No, we're not.
James Tuno?
Go ahead. All right, let's go. What do we
Can
got?
you name the schedule for the summer shows and length of break?
I also want to know, butt crack is not a bad word
It's not a bad word
at all.
It's just-
So I'm not thinking of the bleep count here when I'm thinking.
Scientific
all right,
term,
man.
butt crack?
But you are thinking of butt cracks.
Butt crack is not a bad word
I like butt crack.
by any stretch. And you guys just all feel bad because you guys, your curse word to regular word ratio is like 1,000 to 1. So you guys have.
I actually don't feel bad about it, though.
You should feel because poor Jake back there is
Sorry, Jake.
staying, till midnight cleaning it up. Anyway, summer schedule will be off from July 31st to August 14th. That's our summer schedule. Will be back August 15th. Shout out to our boy over here for even knowing that we have a summer schedule. But yes, we do typically like to take 2 weeks off in the summer. And if things go according to plan, we'll have content for you thanks to Uncrowned Films. So that is our hope, to have a little bit of stuff. Not every day, but a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there. So stay tuned. But as far as the live show, last show will be July 31st. That will be The Crack, not to be confused with The Crake. And first show back will be August 15th, UFC 330 watch party post show. What else, Frank? What else?
Josh.
Oh, Josh. Sorry. Yes.
Jake from Windy City says, Ariel, favorite classic Canadian TV show? Love Degrassi.
I like you way better than Frank already at this.
This is the, you know
He's
what?
a lot better. He's a lot better.
Yeah, there's a little flair. There's a flair for the dramatic. Degrassi was great. I would probably go with You Can't Do That on Television, a classic YTV show back in the day. YTV was like a young person's channel, and they used to slime people and do all kinds of stuff. And if I would say my favorite, there was a French show when I was a kid called Passepartout, the song. If you're from Quebec, you know this show. It had these little puppets in a store. Passe les pattes, les papillons. I used to watch that with my mom all the time. She would love that. I'm referencing it right now. Passepartout. Où est Passepartout? Anyway, that's a great classic Quebec French TV show, because when I was born, up until kindergarten, I didn't know how to speak English. So I would always watch the Flintstones in French, believe it or not. That's how cultured I am, Josh. What else, Josh? What else?
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we even get like a response to things. Frank just goes on to the next one.
Literally brown nose.
This is
I
great.
actually had a follow-up.
Oh.
Did you know Drake from the Degrassi days, or are you talking original Degrassi? Like, what a...
Aubrey, you mean? Of course. Come
your
on.
boy, Aubrey.
Yes, Aubrey Graham.
The wheelchair.
Of course. IYK. Back to you, Josh.
Bobby S. Axelrod says, can Coker and an innovator create UFC-proof content?
This is our boy on Twitter. Rick, this is your guy, right?
Yeah, shout out.
Ear to the streets. That's a good question.
That's the only question,
Yeah.
right? It's like, how do you do it?
But also, do you have distribution? Getting someone like Kevin Kay, the former president of Spike TV, is a pretty big deal. So you'd have to think great contacts, great connections, great rapport with people in the business. But that is the big one. No doubt about it. That is the big one. Let's see if they can pull it off. I guess we're about to find out. It was classic Coker, by the way. Remember there was a thing back. I was going to bring it up. You remember he always used to say, like, we'll find out in 2 weeks about something?
Yeah.
He hit me with the 1 month, and I was like, wow, 1 month? And then he's like, well, maybe 2 months. Maybe 3 months. I was like, yes, I forgot about this. So it was kind of like a warm blanket.
He answered a lot of questions, though.
He was great.
For a Cochran,
There was a lot there. A lot of meat on the bone. What else, Josh? What else?
The Gator 117 says, glad my Arman is a bigger name than Hamzat really triggered Rick and GC. I mean, name recognition. Arman goes on streams, hangs with Jake Paul, etc. Compared to Hamzat, who only shows during fight week.
We speak the same language.
Yeah, that's a good way to defend a horrible take.
I love how us just disagreeing with him means we're triggered.
Oh, yeah.
I'm spiraling out of control about it.
You're
I
breaking
can't
things.
fucking handle this one. Also, not a bigger name.
I mean, yeah.
Factually incorrect.
There's more letters in Hamza. Yeah.
It's more of a, like, what have you done for me lately thing. I think Armin is...
Hamzat is coming off of like one of the bigger fight weeks that the UFC has had in a while.
Stock went down.
Lost, but like the numbers were gigantic for it.
It's like when
what's
Conor
interesting?
lost to Habib and became irrelevant, right? Like nobody
You know
thinks
what's
about
interesting
that guy.
about that? They never released any of the numbers for that fight, right? You know, there were a couple times where they posted like this did this much on this and this. I was surprised because I would have thought that would have been the biggest one and that'd be one that you would tout.
Hang that
I think you wait for the White House, and if you pop a big number here,
keep going. I mean, that...
No, because maybe the number wasn't...
Well, that has to have been the biggest one so far, right?
I think so.
Of the Paramount
Just
era?
based on the buzz, yes.
So, what else, Josh? What else?
Sammy says, Ariel, is there a difference between in-studio guest and Zoom? In-studio feels more personal and deeper. I, for one, appreciate the in-studio guest slightly more.
Oh, 100%. In-studio, way better. Way better. In fact, I could have had Scott on last week, but they said, hey, he's going to be in New York the following week. Do you want to wait? Absolutely. In studio, a million times better. You just can't. Like, could you imagine if Mick Foley was here in studio? It would have been 1,000 times better. MJF in studio, way better than Zoom. It's just you can flow, body language. It's a totally different conversation. So yes, there are other shows that, you know, like Rogan's show never has Zoom guests, but it's one guest a day. And obviously, like, people fly in to do his show. It's a way different thing. Our show is, you know, we're getting 4, 5, 3, 6 guests. It's impossible to have all those people in studio. So when the opportunity arises and being in New York, that was one of the things that I hated when ESPN moved me to Bristol. No one was coming to Bristol. So I hardly had any in-studio guests anymore. So one of the things that I love about being in New York is obviously a lot of people are here and come through here. So yeah, I agree 100%. Way, way better. What else, Josh? What else?
Electric Bootsable says, a little towards Rick's gout fund me. Have a nice week, gents.
Wow. And what is ISK 3000? What is ISK? ISK. What is that?
Is that
Icelandic, man?
Oh, Icelandic, yeah.
Oh, nice.
How about that?
Kroner, is it?
Shout out. Well, there you go, Rick. A little gift for you. What else? What else?
How much is that?
Oh, who knows?
Not a lot.
It's like a lot. It's like 50K.
I got you. 3,000.
Do the conversion.
24.33. That's not bad, man.
Oh, that is. Sorry.
That's a week's worth of the gout prescription for you.
Hell yeah.
That gets you one beer in Iceland.
What else, Joshy? What else?
Iceland has
Stretch?
expensive beer.
What does that mean? Like, we don't have the next one?
Really? 3,000 Icelandic kroners for one bro?
Okay. What is this? This is from UFC Sabbath.
Yeah, we got it.
I
here.
need the backstory of Frank using Rick's credit card. Frank mentioned it yesterday.
Shout out to the Ric Flair capitalizing every letter.
That's right.
Every first letter. That's cool.
We call that Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. So what's the backstory?
Well, the backstory is back when we were in Miami, I used Rick's credit card to make some business purchases and then did not remove his card from my personal Apple. So he got a notification that all sorts of shit was being bought.
Oh,
We had a very uncomfortable conversation that ended with him apologizing to me because I was in the right.
Okay. How about
That's not quite how I remember
How
it.
did that happen, Rick?
I've
How
got
did it manage to
$300
turn
that
into
says
your fault?
otherwise.
It wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't for the nature of the purchases.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
I promised you wouldn't let Mrs. Mysterious know.
There were some films on there that were...
Bit of the blue, Pete. Bit of the blue.
What?
I do it for the soundtracks. Connor can...
When you get a
attest
dodgy
to that.
card, it's just straight to the blue every time.
Yeah.
Every man's the same in that regard.
Yeah.
It's not coming back to me.
The dodgy card being his coworker Rick's.
Yeah. Rick, don't leave your card around me in Vegas, mate.
No, but I'll be with you when we do it.
A feast of the blue.
Nah, I was gonna say that just goes in the hotel room.
A blue buffet.
We're having bluefin tuna omakase while you're
Bluefin tuna is like-
sitting in the back with the blue and the silver.
Yeah, PT, we talked about this yesterday. It's going to be a shame.
Oh, great.
All right, hard out.
I know.
Plans without me again?
Okay, we'll get to that tomorrow.
Last one.
Last one. I'm going to read the last one. This is from Mercy in Motion Book, who says, "Intern Josh, take the opportunities to speak."
Well, here I am, Mercy in Motion Book.
Yes. And a great set of pipes on you. Oh, wow. And now he said, this is great.
We got the
full
rule of
screen, all
thirds
right.
going right here.
Wow.
This is good stuff.
Rick, can you get a lower third on him, please?
That'd be great.
Yeah, Rick, can you cook that up?
Come on, Rick.
What do you got?
John would have had that.
Yeah. I'd like to request Intern Josh as the name. He didn't quite, we're day 2 here, like we all have monikers, right? You know a thing or two about a gimmick, right?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Well done. Way to redeem yourself. It's been a great day for all. And now it's time to go. As Rick said, hard out 4:45. And here we are hitting our mark.
Nailed.
Yeah.
Landed this one.
Who the fuck is we?
I don't know. I felt good about it. How great was Mick Foley, huh? How crazy was it that he was sort of talking about the stuff that we talked about yesterday? That was kind of wild.
Told you to have a nice day.
Oh, he hit me with that, right? That was amazing.
Can't believe you watched Holly Holm.
Yeah, how about that too?
Whoa, yeah, that was.
By the way, when he
deep
said I got one more question, that's the last one that I had in mind. I thought he was going to ask me something about, I don't know, God knows what. Definitely not Holm versus Stephanie Hahn on Saturday in El Paso. But there we were, reminiscing. It was great. It's been
And
a
she
great
was
day
robbed,
here.
to be fair.
What's that?
I was just saying, like, it was nice to hear Mick, concurs that she was robbed.
Of course.
She was.
Everyone agrees. Except for some hardcore Stephanie Hahn fans, which, by the way, look, we're not trying to be insulting here. It's just, there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser. Or, of course, in a 10-round fight, there's often draws. I wish they would move away from that. That is one thing that I wish they would change in boxing. Why is it 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? Wouldn't it make your life easier if it was maybe, I don't know, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11? Or something like that? Just, the odd numbers. Avoid draws. Anyway, it's been a great day here on the program. Thank you very much to the aforementioned Mick Foley. Thank you to Scott Coker for coming in studio. Thank you to Omari Jones. Great career ahead of him. Thank you to Oshaki Foster as well. Thanks to all of you. Thanks all of them. By the way, tomorrow, Dakota Ditcheva, David Feldman, more to come as well. We'll be back with On the Nose tomorrow's show too. For now, back to our same time. Peace out here.
Hanging with the boys.